Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm your host, SCE, here live on the stream, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. As for me, I am doing great, brothers and sisters. Let me share out this link to the groups that I shared to real quick. We have open mic night tonight where the members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters can jump on and share a story, an encounter, an experience. Somebody who wants to open up something for debate, hey, you're more than welcome to do that too. It's open mic night. It's for Tuesdays and Thursdays is always open mic night here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. For the members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, they can come on here, share a story, an encounter. We can talk just about anything right now. I will drop the link after I share this real quick. There we are. We're all shared out, brothers and sisters here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How you doing, Andres Carizales? Hope you're doing great. I'm wearing all kinds of minerals here tonight. Got this black tourmaline necklace. Of course, I have my oldie but goodie around me. The one that go on my investigations is always around me. But I put on some minerals here for tonight. We can talk just about anything. I know some of the topics that I'm going to talk about here tonight. Man, it's one of those things that when I hear stories of people, what people talk about, and then I remember things when I had conversations with individuals. The only thing I can say, a story is not going to change dramatically. If you shared your experience of what you did or what you experienced, that's one thing. But when you have two or three versions of your story that doesn't make sense because you contradicted what you said before, and you added stuff to it, it just makes me wonder if the story that people share are even real. And I witnessed this with this other individual, and there was a lot more that they're not talking about that was involved in this story. And I'm talking about a certain individual that said that he killed a Bigfoot, a dog man while he was driving his truck. Just stories. The story doesn't make sense. That's all I can say, because there's discrepancies, and then certain things that happen. But I know everybody's trying to do their own thing or whatever. But if you're going to do something, man, at least be honest about it. Don't bullshit the people. And I've seen a lot of discrepancies on this guy's story. Me, prior military, I can smell bullshit a mile away. How you doing, Sister Beyond the Box? So tonight is just straight up talk here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. And I'm going to drop the link right now. See who wants to jump on. Open mic night. Anybody can jump on. Jump on it, Kimozabi. There's a link right there. Let's get the show started. Yeah, it's like I don't know if these people are plants or moles because I think they're like plants or moles. Like they want to give power to this cacasquatches. Call them cacasquatch because most of the stories that I hear sound like bullshit. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, they had no pictures. They had no evidence of anything. They just have made up bullshit stories of what I see. You know. Yeah. Yes, it was. It is a song. Uh, uh, when they had that the dance off contest. So I'm just waiting for someone to jump on here so we can talk about this. I see a lot of discrepancies of some of these people's stories, man. And it not just that I've talked to. When you have a conversation with somebody's wife, and it's the same person that supposedly killed a dog man, but then she's saying something completely different of activity that was happening at her house, and I prayed for her, which makes me wonder, you know, if this guy's story is even legit. There was a lot of other things happening in the house, and I believe that the woman, the wife, was being spiritually attacked. Matter of fact, I prayed for her, and I blessed her with one of these ones for protection. I met her at the conference, PRT conference, and she told me what was happening at her house. So the activity that's happening in her house is more of demonic activity. Just put it that way. And if this man was going to the house and there was demonic activity at his house and he was getting attached on him, most likely what he was seeing or what he's seeing was not a dog man, but a demonic manifestation. In which I've heard the story initially because I heard about it, they told me about it, and then they changed it up to something else, in which it is contradicting what I initially heard. I think I have a comment of her of what she told me after I prayed for her that leads me to believe if the activity that's happening in their household was supernatural or demonic activity, most likely of what he witnessed was the same thing. Was not a dog man, but a manifestation of a demon in which there was no kills. I do have the comment of what you left to me after we hold hands and we prayed at the conference. I will have to look for it, but the comment that she says is she's saying more of that it's something. I think the comment, I think I shared it one time here where I believe she said, I hope that the attachment whatever attachment I had didn't go to you, So she knew that definitely there was some negative activity happening in their house. I did what I'm supposed to do. I'm just saying, if you're going to say a story, say everything that was happening. Not I was driving a truck and dogman was chasing me and I shot it. I killed the dogman, but then supposedly there was two stories to it. Uh, one of the stories was that when he went to go back and turn his truck around, he went to go look that he was gone. That probably the other dogman took it. You know, took the dogman. And then there was a different story where that he said when he went back, that the government probably took the dog man, and then because when he went back, it was gone. There was nothing there, and then he changed to now another version of the story is like three versions now. Now saying that the government supposedly approached him and told him you killed one of ours. So I call bullshit on that story because I've done heard three versions of it. three different versions of it. And look at the number that I'm pointing here, three. Yeah, it's I'm not buying it one bit. It done changed the story like three times. Three different versions of the story, in which I believe there's a lot of stories that are plants, that are plants that are or from or from people that are working for certain groups, right? To try to make it seem that something really happened, which is just a made up freaking story, which is it's kind of sad that they instead of doing that, lying, how come you just don't go get the proof of what's out there? Well, it was the same story. The one part that doesn't change that he supposedly killed it through the window, but the other versions of the ending of the story have changed three times. That's all I'm saying. Which one is it? Which of the three is a real story? How you doing, Mr. Hernandez? Or is it even real at all? Like I said, I talked to his wife, and she was going through paranormal activity at their house. That's all I can say, and I pray for her. I blessed her with a selenite because she was literally crying there at the conference, and I pray for her to get rid of the negative attachments that she had because she was being spiritually attacked. So something that doesn't seem right to me. How you doing, Sister Brenda?
I have the whole story. Are you ready to hear it all?
Go ahead.
Okay. So he was out in the woods and he backed his truck up and he hit it. Then it stood up and he shot it. And then he went to go up the road and turn around and it meandered off the road into the woods. And then the government swooped in and took the dog man and left him a piece of paper that said, "Buddy, you're drunk, go to bed." That's what really happened.
Oh my God. I done heard three versions of the story, man. I just seen one today. I was like, man, that's that dude. You know, that's that dude. I was like, and they were talking about that he killed a dog, man, but then that the government at the end comes and I didn't see the whole video. I just seen the beginning that the government tells him you killed one of ours. Like what the fuck? Yeah, and the
Okay.
first time that he ever said the story, he said that when he went back that he was is not even in the street. You know that supposedly that the other dogman dragged it into the woods. The initial story, and then he changed to they turned around. There were some people uh, that most that some people are saying that the some people came like the government came and took it or something. Then this one is a that the government goes up to him and tells him you could kill one of ours. It doesn't
So,
make sense. Doesn't make sense. And he has no proof that he killed diddly squat. There's not no trace of blood, no pictures. And then you figure you kill something like that, you're gonna take a picture of it or something, right? Or record it. I'm more sure the trailer that he was driving has a camera that he would be able to capture it through the camera. The dog man looking through the into his freaking truck, right? Because they carry cameras in there.
well, now nowadays everybody has access to their cell phone, and I've seen people hit something and then hit record and go, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" But yeah, so something like that, he should have had something going, some kind of recording. But here's the problem: when these people tell their stories to different platforms, sometimes they forget what they said the first time. So I think they really ought to go back and watch their own
But how
shows.
would they? I got a shine on this one. How are they going to fucking forget what they went through and come up with a whole different version? I've done heard like three
That's
or four
true.
different versions of it.
That's
How are you going to
true.
forget?
Yeah,
No,
you
not
wouldn't.
unless it was a lie initially, right?
Yeah, yeah. It had to have been because something that like that would be a shock and awe and kind of traumatic. So you would never really forget it. Now, you might not remember everything, but then you usually say, I don't really remember what happened because I lost like memory or something. But you don't change it every time you tell it. You know what I mean?
So I'm thinking he just made up the story that he killed the dogman and he shows a weapon, so people can think he's like Dirty Harry. You know, he got no proof that he killed anything. It's just a story, and I can understand maybe if the story got stuck with the same story, but he done changed it 3 times.
Yeah.
That's when I call bullshit.
Mm.
What do you think, Sister Brenda?
Yeah, I think if he can't get his story straight, I think he needs to stop telling it because it would
Keeps
make
on
it makes
changing it.
him, yeah, and it makes him look bad when he does that. So if he wants any credibility, he either needs to fix his story, say it right, or not say it at all.
Or have
Because,
some kind of proof that you did something, which she
well,
doesn't.
yeah,
You know,
I mean, maybe at a shocking moment, you may not think about grabbing your phone, but somehow I don't
I
see
mean, he
that.
grabbed his weapon,
Yeah, uh, he should have had his phone on too.
and then he claims he killed it. You're gonna want to take a picture of what you killed, right? So you can show people like, hey,
Yeah,
it's kinda like when you go catch a fish and you caught a big fish, you want to
yep,
take a picture of the big fish that you caught, you know,
right.
so
That's
you can show,
true.
look, this is how big the fish was. I told you it was big. Well, I told you it was big, and it's gonna be a little fish like this. No, but I'm saying, gotta have some kind of proof.
Yeah, that's just
So
awful.
now this guy is making videos like he killed a dog man, but he got no proof that he killed a freaking dog man.
I'm really
Ridiculous.
concerned about the guy that, got molested by Bigfoot the other day. I've been watching his videos.
That was a crazy video right there.
Oh, he's got several of them. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, so I was like, man, this guy he done changed the story 3 times. Every podcast that he talks to, he changes it up.
Yeah, that's not
Talking,
good.
he literally said, I heard his first story ever, right? But this time he's saying that the government, in the last podcast that he did, I think, because I didn't even know it was him, but I just seen a title that he killed a dog man, and he's talking about that the government came up to him and told him, "You killed one of ours." Come on, man. But you see what I'm talking about? That they're
I
trying to
I mean, I would
what
have
they're
said,
these people are liars or moles, right? That are being placed in these communities,
yeah.
and
Well, and the
and,
government is not
and
going
they're
to
like.
admit, oh, that was ours that got away. No, they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to shoot you in the head and walk away. But
What I'm trying to say is that he's doing this shit to try to make a name for himself with a lie, first of all, but he's always trying to make it seem now so they no different than Bigfoot. That's the dogman is part of the government because he shot it and they come up to him and told him uh, that you killed one of ours. That's bullshit.
yeah, the government is never going to admit to that. I'm so sorry, but they are not.
But
They
that's what he
might
said that
catch
they told him.
something. Yeah, no, 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 no.
Me, I'm part of the government. I used to be in the government, so I should know, right? That
Yeah,
I
well,
could
he
know
obviously he obviously doesn't know our government, does he? Because no, they're not going to admit to that because that would be like them saying, "Oh my God, we had this experimental animal and it got loose." No, no, no. They're going to say, "Oh, we had experimental animals and there was a car wreck and be on the lookout. Don't touch them." But they're not going to walk up to your house and say you killed one of ours. Oh hell no, they're not going to do that.
no. He's saying, yeah. I'm just saying that's what he said. It's like, come
Hmm.
on, man.
Wow.
I would believe more of a story. He said that he ran into that he killed a deer with his truck because deers jump in front of the vehicles. It's
Yeah.
happened to me. That would be
Yep.
more realistic than what he's talking about.
Even if you said, I think it was a deer, I hit it, ran right over it, messed up my whole entire vehicle,
driving a
but I
truck,
couldn't see it.
driving a truck, a big rig. I don't know how he killed it or whatever. That he said he was running beside him or whatever. Driving, paying attention to the road, and shooting at the same time. You really have got to have a
Uh,
that, and then the weapon. You really can't. Really, you gotta have like at least two hands on it. You know, it's gonna. You shoot it.
uh,
It's got power, right? So it's gonna make your hand move and stuff like that.
well, I mean, if he was, I mean, I can shoot with either or hand, but still trying to maintain a big rig. Was he on a dirt road next to woods, or was this on the
No, he was
highway?
on a regular road supposedly.
Oh, and Bigfoot just haven't been hanging out with his
Dogman.
homies.
The
Oh, Dogman.
dogman was running beside his semi.
Okay, so Dogman was hanging out with his homies on the streets, and this guy ran up on him and was shooting him while he was doing a drive-by while he was in a big rig.
You know, the truck drivers be
Wow.
taking those pills, right?
Yeah.
Those black mollies and all those just stay awake. So maybe I don't know, maybe something like that might have happened. He might have been seeing things.
Either that or he's prepping his mind to do a fiction. Maybe he's going to write a fictional book. Doing a drive-by in a big rig. 18-wheeler going down the road doing a drive-by on a Dogman. Oh, well, that's kind of
I
an
have family
interesting
members
book.
that are truck drivers, and I've asked them if they're running into anything like that, you know, and they say no, they never run into nothing like that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
they've been doing it for years as truck drivers.
The only funniest thing I ever seen when I was over the road with my ex-husband was we were going down this mountain road, and there was a deer in the middle of the road, and it was only 2 lanes, and it was mountain, and there was a rail and a cliff, and this stupid deer jumped off the cliff all by itself, just committed Harry Carey off the cliff. But I never seen anything like that.
So, what would it be considered, Sister Brenda? What these people are doing that they're making up fucking bullshit stories just to keep the people interested in their communities, right?
They're lying.
They're 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 doing it in the Bigfoot community. They're doing it in the Dogman community. Most
Yeah.
likely alien, whatever other communities there is, right?
Maybe they're
So,
just trying to fit in. I don't know. I don't know. But why lie about it? I
yeah, that's
mean,
what I'm trying to say.
there are there are a lot of people in the Bigfoot community that are still looking, but they haven't found anything. They all hear it when they go camping or this or that, but and they admit that they haven't seen anything. So why are you going to overextend yourself and tell that type of a story? And then when you tell it again, you tell it entirely different.
Yeah,
Why would you do that to yourself? Make yourself look stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That's crazy.
and you seen some of these people have changed their tune. First, I remember a certain individual when I started talking about I was Matilla Foundation, play Jesus Christ first. Uh, that he said, he literally said, uh, "Fuck this holy rollers." Literally said this, you know,
Oh,
and you know he did not believe in Jesus Christ. Uh, I asked him a question. I asked him, what would you do in a situation that there's activity around you? You know, maybe whether it's paranormal or whether it's a cryptid. What are you going to do if it's something or demonic? What are you going to do? He said he said to me uh, that he would call his psychics,
he would call his psychics.
call his psychics, and ask him for advice of what to do in that situation. Right.
Oh
So
boy.
then a year passes by, you know, about a year, and I'm growing. My little channel's growing, and I'm sharing my wisdom and knowledge. to the spiritual aspect of things. Then when I speak to him again later on, he started saying, well, that he prays before, during, and after, in which he never said that before, because he said, screw all holy rollers, which means even screw Jesus Christ, right?
Maybe he did a turnaround.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that he changed his ways of what he was saying,
Yeah.
and it's like, so okay, that's not what you said the first time. Why are you changing it now? You know, and I
His
think what it is some of these people they steal content for people. They steal the what people are sharing to trying to help out people. You know,
mhm.
but I look at the roots. You know, of what they initially said, which makes me wonder if they're being legit or they're not or not being legit.
Well, I mean,
But
I
it's
know.
good if they do change in a positive way. You know that it helps them out during their investigations.
I was going to say maybe he called his psychic and his psychic told him he needed to pray. I mean, if somebody called me and said that they were in the middle of a spiritual battle and this was attacking him and this was attacking him, and he doesn't want to pray, but he wants to take time to call a psychic, I'm going to tell him
It's
he
too
needs
late
to
by then.
pray and hang up on him. Yeah.
It's too
I don't
late by
want it
then.
coming through the phone. I don't know.
Then you'll be
People,
like the other guy talking about Bigfoot raped him.
oh God. Oh my gosh. That guy, and he sticks to the story about what Bigfoot did to him, but he did another one saying that Bigfoot came and carried him uh, back to the den like a baby, and he said that she obviously wanted me to breastfeed, but I didn't want to do it, and I mean it was just ridiculous. And then she said then the other Bigfoot came with the baby, so she tossed him away like trash, made him feel like trash because she had her cub back. I was like, oh, this boy, I'm telling you, it was nuts. But I've had people before on my show, and I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of stopped doing guests. I mean, I've had people on my show that they have said some outlandish things, and I know I knew better. And I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say nothing. Even after the show, I wouldn't say anything. I just wouldn't have them back on because I just couldn't deal with what was coming out of their mouth. And I'm thinking, oh God, I need to delete this whole entire show. I don't want anybody thinking that I had this person on my show and they crazy. So, but yeah, some people, they'll get on there and they'll just say the most outlandish things that, or or things that are impossibly done. But a lot of people, I mean, I know if they say, well, I killed Bigfoot, I killed Bigfoot. Well, go grab a toe or something, you know? I mean, take a picture. Everybody has cameras on their phones.
And you know when you tell them to take a picture, what they're going to say that right? What they're going to tell to you, they're going to tell you, "No, I'm afraid the government will come after me if I take a picture." Well, the government's going to come after you regardless, right? If you kill the Bigfoot,
Well, yeah.
which neither or is going to happen because Bigfoot is not real. Then
Oh
the
my
shit that
God.
people make up just to lure people in to buy into the bullshit. That's crazy. I know the stuff that I talk about sounds crazy itself, but at least I got some kind of evidence
Right. Yeah.
with the photos that I take and the things that I share here in spiritual encounters, you know.
Yep.
But these people just have stories and they have nothing to show to prove that their story is legit at all. I
Yeah.
mean, like the guy that said he got raped by the Bigfoot. I mean, you know, the guy raped by the Bigfoot. That means he would have to get stitches on on his ass because he got ripped apart by the Bigfoot. He got manhandled, you know.
No, he's very adamant that it was a female because he says, I'm not like that.
No, I think it was a male Bigfoot that got him. Definitely. You don't want to. He don't want to talk about it. You know, it's too embarrassing for him.
Yeah. I know Andreas found the gave me the link to it. Andreas, I wonder if he finished watching any of that guy's other videos.
Yeah, you could tell
Oh,
he was. He's bullshitting.
oh
He's
yeah.
doing it in a comedy skit.
Yep. It's still pretty funny though.
I'm gonna see if I can find the message from. I don't know if I got it or not, but I'm gonna look for it. See if I can find the message of the woman's of the man's wife for what she told me.
Now, what did she say that? So she was there then?
No, she said that there was activity that was happening at her house.
Oh,
Did she told me about the activity that was happening at her house? Spiritual activity. I'm talking about all kinds of stuff that was happening at her house that it was affecting her. So I prayed for her. You know, I'm just trying to find to see if I could find the. I don't even know if I even got it. What she told me is that you know when I prayed for her, she said I don't know what you did when you prayed for me, but whatever was on me is off of me. I said I hope, and then she said I hope you did not it did not transfer to you. That's what she said. But then she told me thank you for helping her.
and then her husband's out running around telling all these stories. Maybe he needs to. Maybe it's on him. I mean, wow.
I'm just saying that. Let me see if I can find what she told me. Uh, I know she was crying, so that's why I prayed for her. My wife was right there beside me and I gave her one of the selenite things for protection. You know, gets rid of negative energies. And I prayed for her, and something happened to me that evening, in which my leg got real swollen. So
Oh,
I typed out and rebuked that in Jesus Christ's name. Then when I woke up on the following day, my leg was doing better. But you know, having a DTV on the leg, the
right.
drive from Temple to there, you know, could have done that. But I did pray for her, and she was telling me the things that she was going through. And when I prayed for her, she was just crying and crying and crying. Remember, I told you about transferring spirits. Be careful.
Right. Wow.
Let me see if I can find the thing. But I'm just being straight up right now, man. That some of these stories are just freaking. You could tell that they're a figment of their imagination or they're the bullshit. Just like the other person. But you know what? It is what it is. People are going to believe what they're going to believe in. I'm just saying, be careful what you're listening to and question. You know, like me, people can question me, but I can show them proof of the things that I encounter. At least you know that I do have the proof. And people, I have videos of things that happen around me while I'm doing the lives too. Luckily, none of that activity is here at this house where I'm at.
Right.
Have you seen Have you seen any crazy stuff happening around me here? Like while I do the lives at all?
No. And
Not at all.
yeah, because they're not followed. You're not going out, so they're not following you.
I think it was the location where I was at that house. That's why there was a lot of crazy activity happening. But the only thing you see sometimes when somebody goes through there to the restroom when I do the lives.
Yeah.
But besides that, not the activity that I was having in Elms Grove. I mean, at the other location where I lived.
Yeah, I
I
think
know
it was
that if I were to go stand at the end of the block, you'll be able to see the darkness from where I'm standing if I were to record. But then at the same time, I want nothing following me.
um yeah, I think it was the location there where you were. I think it just happened to be the property. How far was that house from where you used to go in Temple when you would go do your walks and your investigations?
It's not that far away from where I live. Probably a couple. I don't know, good, probably like 2 miles, mile and a half from where I live now. Before
Hmm.
it was like maybe like depends on where you went through. If I go a certain way, it'll be even closer. But if I took a shortcut through the woods there, but I would go down the street, so that's a good like a half a mile to get to the location.
Wow.
I just don't won't say where it's at because
Right.
I believe that there was an individual that contacted me one day through Messenger, and he told me he wanted to know because there was a picture I took him, and he seen the dog man or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what he seen, and he wanted to know where this place is at. So I told him the location of the place. Then he called me back and told me, "Don't go there. That's a dangerous place. There's a lot of activity there." I said, that area is a dangerous place because there's a lot of uh, cult activity. That's what he told me. So that's what he said. And then I had another thinking I don't know if it was the same one. Another gentleman contact me. He said he was a hunter and he wanted to know where the location was, where the picture that I took. I told him the coordinates of where this area was. He said he was a. That's what he does. He hunts.
Yeah.
So I told him not thinking about it. I said, man, he's not gonna go to this area. But then that's when I found that truck. And if you look at the seat of the truck, it's got like one of those covers like for hunters. The thing is there was no weapons or nothing there. He had a
Huh.
like a rack where you can put a rifle and everything. He said he was gonna go to the area and investigate. He was gonna camp out there to see if he caught anything. Well, that person didn't make it out of the woods.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad about it because I'm the one that, if it was the same guy, I'm the one that told him where it was, where the location was, and he's not here no more.
Wow. That's kind of weird. I mean, mentally, was he okay? Like, he didn't go there to.
I do not know, Sister Brenda. I didn't know the guy that contacted me. All I know is what the newspaper article said, that he was having problems, that he was depressed and stuff like that. That's what they were saying. I never found out what happened to him. They never said exactly how he died, what exactly happened to him. They never said exactly how he died.
Hmm. That's weird because usually they'll post like a after the autopsy they'll say, you
I
know,
got the name. You can maybe you can do some investigating on it and let me know. Maybe you'll find out something. I got his name. I can
Okay.
send you the picture of him. Man, that all that was on my other phone, my phone that gave out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because like I said, they'll usually say like suspected cause of death or cause of death when they run it in the paper. And for all we know, I mean, if he didn't really have any family or anything like that, they may have just let it go and not said anything at all.
I think Sister Nellie said that we could pray for Sister Madeline.
Oh,
So let's pray for Sister Madeline right now. I just seen the comment right there. You want to lead the prayer, Sister Brenda? I don't know exactly what's the matter with her. She's at the hospital.
oh, that's terrible. Yeah, let me get a drink of water. I want my tongue sticking to the top of my mouth. All right. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to ask for you to please heal and protect Sister Madeline from whatever is going on with her. Help her to uh, be strong and heal and protect her from any kind of evil or whatever comes her way to attack her. We ask you that you hold her in your arms and give her the strength and the caring. And we pray that she can recover and come right back and bounce back just like she always has. And we ask you this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I hope she's okay. Gosh.
Uh, I don't know. I was sensing something. Possible spiritual attack um, through her senses, which will be like maybe she might have like seems like she's got allergies, but it's one of those things where everything hurts: the ears, the eyes, itchy eyes, and headache. Flu-like symptoms. So we're also gonna pray against any kind of spiritual attack on her senses because that's what it seems that's happening, which is causing fear, especially with the fake pandemic that's going on.
I'm not buying
So
that.
So we'd like to pray for Sister Madeline, also Heavenly Father, as we place 70 spiritual crosses on from head to toe. We place 70 spiritual crosses on all her spiritual locations where her senses are, but any unclean spots like the tear ducts, the nose, the mouth, the ears, privates, we place heavenly spiritual crosses there. Uh, and we'd like to type, Brian, rebuke any kind of fear mongering. Uh, and for her to heal immediately, Heavenly Father, for you to heal her immediately from whatever is happening to her. At the same time, if there's any witchcraft or necromancy, we tie, Brian, and rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ and send it back to the sender for her to be protected by your heavenly angels and do a clean sweep of her vessel and the location where she's at the hospital, Heavenly Father. This we pray in your heavenly name. Amen. Yeah, I know there's something in that nature going on because I know it happened to me like yesterday. Still right now, just talking about it, my eye starts itching real bad.
You
So
know what's been
I'm
going on?
thinking it's dealing with a change of weather.
You know what's
But like my eyes been burning, my
yeah.
ears been ringing, but that's how the enemy attacks. Like right now, I'm talking about it, and just because of prayer for Sister Madeline now. I mean,
You
so if there's
know,
anything going to attack me for praying for Sister Madeline, we tie binding week in Jesus Christ's name. You're not allowed in my house or allowed to affect me. This would pray in Jesus Christ's name.
yeah.
Amen.
Um, they put me on all those because my allergies have been super bad. They put me on all the allergy medication. Now, twice a day, I get nosebleeds. Yeah.
Nosebleeds.
Yep. When I wake up in the morning and then later in the afternoon, I've been getting nosebleeds. So
Yeah, I've been like my right eye has been itching a lot. Um, ear, it's like a ringing of the ears, but like a pulsating sound. Like it hurts my ears. I've been feeling sometimes losing my balance,
you
like
might
I'm getting
have
zapped, like I'm getting zapped. That
you
I
might
bump into things.
you might have that same problem that I had when they had to put me on antibiotics. I had gotten because of my sinuses draining, they drained into my inner ear and it was throwing me off completely. And they had to put me on antibiotics to dry that up. Because when you get real bad sinuses, they'll leak into your ears. And when that happens, you can get, really bad ear infections but I had fluid in my inner ear and it was funny because when it got so bad that I finally had to say something to the doctor, if I moved my head side by side, I could hear the fluid in there switching around, like going from one side to the other. So I knew that's what it was. So when I didn't even have to go in and see him. I called him and I said, "Look, I've got fluid on my inner ear from this sinus infections, and something's got to be done." And they went ahead and gave me antibiotics. It took about 7 days to get it all out of there.
And if she's got an infection, that can cause all kinds of problems,
Oh yeah,
uh, hallucinations, fevers, infections. I mean, like the infection, it'll bring you down. So
yeah.
hopefully they'll figure out what's the matter with her and give her the right meds.
Poor girl. Oh, oh man, I'm getting the hiccups now.
Yeah, I mean, it is open mic night, brothers and sisters. Where was to jump on? I just, when I hear some of the stories, because you know, I'll be watching TV a lot, and on YouTube, I watch the movies or whatever. But then sometimes I watch some of those shows
Yeah,
just to see what they're talking about, and it's like, man, right off the bat, I can tell there's something ain't right with the stories. It's kind of like watching a movie, right? You're watching the movie, you already know more or less knows what the plot is.
right. When it
You
first
already
starts.
know who's gonna die first. You already know who's the killer before they even show who the killer is.
Yeah,
Because if you pay attention to how the plot is, you can see the outcome of the movie before it even shows what's going to happen. You already know,
I still
like,
may
oh,
watch
it's
it.
going to be like this before this is going to happen, and boom, it happens that way.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
still may watch it just to say I knew it.
I think I've only seen one movie where the black guy doesn't die first, but all the other movies I've seen the black guy die first.
Or
But I think it
or
was one movie where the black guy remains alive at the end of a horror
or
movie.
or I like when they know there's something in the house and instead of running out of the house and getting out of there, they run upstairs. Why do they do that? they're, they're just digging a deeper hole.
Then how about when they're running and they're tripping by themselves and falling, and they get up and they run a little bit more and then they trip over again.
Yeah,
You're like, you already know they're gonna die.
right. Oh man, I've had a long day. How was your day today?
Just here at the house, trying to get over this the ice. allergy things that I got. Just been relaxing. Did my workout in the morning. I slept, woke up, did my workout, then went up back to sleep because I only slept for about 2 hours and a half. So I said, "Oh, I need to get more rest." So I lay down, and I woke up. I think last night I won a major. I won like $200.
Oh, on your
So
jackpot.
yeah, yeah, a little a jackpot. Me and my wife hit the jackpot. I woke her up from her sleep, and she didn't know she had won till the following day. But I was all out of it. But besides that, I'm just here. I've been wanting to go and do some investigations, but then I said, nah, I need to be out there. Not right now. I
How's your
think
leg? How's your leg feeling?
my leg. I'm doing good with my leg.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
hanging in there.
I probably wouldn't go anywhere for a while if I was you. Let these allergies kind of subside a little bit. And right now, I guess everybody's saying that allergies this year are really bad. So everybody's having a lot of problems with allergies. I
Uh,
know I hardly ever leave my house because I think if I did, it'd be worse if I was outside than what I get when the doors open, people in and out. It would probably be worse if I was sitting out in it.
well, this is something weird, John Adams, that happened this morning. It was around uh, when I took my dog outside. It was around 11 o'clock. I took him to the backyard and stuff, and there was not even a wind. And I'm sitting down on a little bench that I have back there made out of steel. And to my left, it's like I have it's made out of like steel where I got the rake and all that. You just put it in there like to hold the rake and the hoe and stuff, shovel, whatever. Something knocked it over. Like it hit
Mm.
it. And my dog is out there. It's not my dog that hit it. Something hit it. And it got knocked over and then it hit this little chair and the chair got knocked over too. So it hit it with force. Something hit it. Then I said, okay, maybe I'm looking. So maybe it's a gust of wind. But then I look at the leaves and there's no there's no wind.
No wind.
So definitely something hit it, unseen, as in spirit, because there was no wind. So and I know that something hit it because as hard as it fell down, something hit it. It hit it so hard that it knocked down the a metal chair that was beside it too. It knocked that over. So something was there. I guess it moved in spirit form and knocked both of the things down. So it's definitely something there. I just don't got no camera to record to be able to see what was there. And then I say, okay, I'm just gonna leave it as maybe it's just coincidental. Maybe it was just that it fell over because of the weight and it just happened at the time that I came outside. So I left it at that. But
Well,
yeah,
our weather is supposed to get cold again, chilly again. They were saying, I don't know uh, if it's going to stick that way or not, but we're in the 80s for the rest of this week. Oh, and in the beginning of next week. So maybe, just maybe, our allergies will kind of clear up. We've had a lot of rain and crap, so uh, it's got to
yeah,
get
it's just
better.
like things like that I don't want to pay too much attention to, because if you give it too much attention, and maybe it might be nothing, but maybe then it is something. And if you give it attention, then you give it some kind of power.
I have figured out that, um, well, because when you sleep, your body will heal. So I have found that the more sleeping I do, the less I ache or the less I have allergies. But the last couple of days, I don't know what everybody else's sleep has been like, but mine's been pretty messed up again over the last few days. It's been horrible. And then I'm so tired. Man, I hate when you're just like overly tired to where you can't sleep. Have you ever been like that?
Do you think that they're dropping something in the air that's making people feel that way?
Oh, more. Oh, most definitely.
To make them feel sick or ill, and they'll stay inside their houses, won't come out of the home, won't be in the streets.
Well, yeah, or they're planning on people being in the streets if they're dropping stuff, but they're always spraying something everywhere. And I watched a video today on all those ticks that they're dropping. They're,
Ticks?
yeah, the ticks. They're dropping them in boxes all over the place, but they're they're tiny, tiny. And they're saying that, a lot of times when a tick sucks the blood, how it'll grow. Well, these aren't growing. They're just tiny little itty bitty ticks. And the sickness that everybody's getting, like I said before, it sounds more like symptoms of syphilis.
What the hell?
Yeah. So now not only do we have to worry about cruise ships, boats, and infected people, we got to worry about ticks. And then they'll come up with something else later.
Uh oh. What happened, Sister Brenda? There you go.
Uh, we were
I
talking
don't know.
about
I don't know what
we were
happened.
talking about ticks. They didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, leave the ticks alone. If you kill them, I wonder if I wonder if the men in black will come and say you killed one of ours.
Kill them with a raid. You kill a whole brigade of them. And I'm gonna make a video talking about I killed a whole brigade of uh, government ticks. I'm a
Yeah.
hero. I killed a brigade of them. They're out to do no good. You ever
You
heard of
killed our ticks.
you ever heard of circus ticks?
What is it?
Circus ticks?
Circuit sticks?
Circus ticks.
Oh, circus ticks. Oh, yeah, yeah. The
Like in the
invisible ones.
cartoons?
Yeah, the invisible ones that play in the playground. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
You killed one of ours. Yeah, they don't admit that they make things or let things loose. Or I kind of wonder if a lot of the creatures that we have in the sea, if some of those weird looking creatures were actually made by our labs and they didn't turn out right, so they just let them loose in the ocean. Because we get some weird stuff down there. Kind of
go.
interesting.
You killed one of ours.
I would say if it was, there would be a
So how
tag
many
on it
people?
somewhere.
How many people? Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
How many people have been deceived that somebody was saying something, but then later on, or they showed a picture or video of something, and you're believing that what you're seeing that is legit, but then later on, you find out that it was bullshit, that it was a hoax, or it was a lie.
Well, right now, I think that there could be a lot of people doing that because AI has kind of perfected its video making. So it's really, really hard to tell if people are, you know, some of the videos that you're watching, if they're real or not, because they could be making them with AI. So I'm to the point where anymore, if I don't see it with my own eyes, I can't, you know, I I can't say it's there or it's not, you know. So I'm just, I don't know. They're doing too much with
Yeah.
AI.
So you
Mm.
did a show earlier today?
Oh, this afternoon with Glenn, yeah. We do them Monday through Friday. We're doing them for 2 weeks, and then we're taking another week off because he's got some family time thing he's got to go to. So,
Sister, never the creatures in the ocean were made by the Nephilim. Remember, Brenda, the stuff in the ocean wasn't destroyed. The sirens are still there.
oh yeah, yeah, that's what they say. They're deeper than what we could go. I guess is what they're saying. Mm. Yeah, people are doing too much with AI, and it's really sad because I I just I feel that the more they're using AI and activating it and asking it questions and trying to follow AI medical advice and different stuff like that, they're giving AI too much power. I think. I mean, it's already learning from itself, so I don't know. I mean, there can be some good in it, but good
Okay? I
God,
got one for you. I think in the near future somebody's going to get married to AI, or have they done it yet?
well, I don't know if they've done it yet, but
They're going to say we met through AI.
yeah.
They're going to get married with AI creation.
Well, they have those sites now where you can have an AI video boyfriend or AI video girlfriend now, where you can come home and turn on your AI boyfriend and it asks you, "How was your day, honey?" It's like, oh my god, no. But people are doing that. People don't get out and meet people and have dates and fall in love. They don't do that anymore. They just stay home, play with their AI boyfriends. I mean, oh, I don't know what to make of it. It's ridiculous. Mm. But I mean, to each their own. There might be people out there that have been burned so many times that maybe they just feel like it's easier to have an AI boyfriend.
There we
Okay,
go.
what what is going on? Yeah,
That's what they've been doing to me, Sister Brenda.
right. Apparently, AI doesn't like us talking about them either. That's pretty bad. Okay. Sorry, AI. We didn't mean to call you a bad boyfriend. Oh, Abe, I'm telling you. Well, I don't know. It just might be our internet might just be having issues. I've been noticing late at night, I've been having issues with my internet. It's almost like they're working on stuff late at night thinking there's not going to be people online. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
AI stuff. Trying to look
Yeah.
for the the thing, but I can't find it.
Oh, a video?
Something about what the woman said to me, but the activity that was happening at the house. But I think it's on my other phone. The other phone completely just shut off on me.
Lauren says, Space, the final frontier. That's right. I don't know what all's going to happen. I just know that I'm so over the crap that's all going on right now, anyways.
Yeah, I seen. I finally seen the video. The scientists that they supposedly killed. Seems staged to me.
Well, and not only that, but this has been going on for a little over a year, and then we're just now hearing about it. It's like I said, every time somebody mentions something about the Epstein files, they come up with something different. And then they use the ship with the hantavirus. And if you look that up, that word, what is it? Hantavirus, hanta, the first part of it in Hebrew means to deceive, lie, fake, uh, all that. Well, they used that to cover up, all the people they arrested on the Disney cruise because they were PDFs. Don't hear about that in the news. Well,
Wow.
so yeah. No, I haven't seen any statue, Lawrence. Who knows? Maybe he'll stick it in the middle of that pool that they're having a fit over because he wants to paint the bottom of it blue. I don't even know. I can't even keep up anymore. uh,
Too much drama.
yeah, it is. I just go, nothing surprises me anymore. So all I can do is just shake my head and laugh it off because it's like the more that keeps puppy, you're snoring really loud. The more that it keeps going and the more crap that comes out, the more I'm just like, ugh, I wish we could get off this timeline because it's screwed up. My puppy is sacked out right now. He's snoring his poor little nose off.
The puppy.
Yeah, he is tired. He's in his little round bed, just hanging his head over the side, snoring away. I haven't been sleeping good, and he sleeps with me, so when I move, he'll get up. So he's not sleeping really good either because I'm up and down all night long. It's
Oh
terrible.
wow. Well, that didn't sound right, Sister Brenda.
Okay, uh,
Can
I'm
you
I'm
rephrase the question?
I keep I keep waking up all the time in the middle of the night.
There we go. Yeah, I was trying to find the thing of what the woman said to me, but I think it was on my other phone.
Well, I would think if it's a husband and wife, I would think that they would know what each other were talking about. I mean, maybe she's thinking that whatever was at the house, whatever was causing the paranormal activity that was going on in her house. Maybe it followed her husband, and maybe she just thinks that that's what he was seeing. I don't know.
That's
Um,
what I'm thinking.
yeah, John, allergies this year, they're horrible. I'm on one, two, three major allergy medications and then Benadryl once or twice a day. Also, on top of that, my allergies are bad. And one time, years ago, my sinuses had gotten so compacted that they actually had to go in and do what they called drilling them so they could free them up. And that was horrible. Um, but I don't get bad allergies but once every few years. Like I'll have a bad year and then the next year I'll be perfectly fine, and but this year, yeah, they're bad. My eyes will get so bad they swell. When I had gone in, I had a in my ears, my whole face was swollen, my eyes were swollen. It was so bad. It was so bad that when the doctor walked in, I had my head down, and all I said to him was, "If you don't have a new face for me, get out." Because I was hurting so bad. It was like this got to stop. But yeah, they've been bad.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
yesterday I did a live late because I was hurting. Eyes were burning. Had mucus. It's just the
Yeah,
allergies.
and that's what's bad is right now. They're we all know we've got allergies, but everybody, if your nose is running all the time or what have you, people are going to be like, "Oh God, you better go to the hospital and get tested." Ugh,
Yeah.
stop it, people, stop it. Just stop. Yeah, I don't know. I think that one side of my sinuses are cleared up, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're dried out, and that's why I keep getting nosebleeds because it's only on one side, on my left side.
Do you use a CPAP machine?
No, I probably should, but no, because according to my caregiver, every now and then he'll walk in and he'll see that I'm asleep, and he'll look at me and I won't be breathing, and he'll sit there for a few and he'll wait for me to go ahead and take a breath and start breathing again. But I do that a lot. I even wake myself up when I do it sometimes. But I don't know if I really trust those machines. I don't know. So, uh,
Yeah, it's some crazy weather.
Alka-Seltzer.
It feels like the Sandman is running loose, putting everybody to sleep.
Yeah. He's going crazy. And I wish you'd come visit my house because I am so, I just tired. That,
So what's new, Sister Brenda?
oh, nothing much. Laura says something about Alka-Seltzer. You know, when I was a kid, my grandfather used to um, have me make that for him all the time because of his stomach. But it clears your sinuses up. Really? Hmm. I might have to look into that. Interesting. I know I've used Alka-Seltzer before in my life. I like when you put it in there and when you go to drink it, all the little water sparkles are just touching. They're jumping up and hitting your nose.
I'll be right back, Sister Brenda.
Okay.
You talk about whatever you want to talk.
But yeah, you go to drink it and it sprinkles all over your face. I had a cousin one time, she was too young to be drinking, and I showed up at the house and she was so drunk and she was in the bathroom and she felt like she was sick, but she couldn't get sick. So I went in and got an Alka-Seltzer, made it for her, and said, "Here, down this." And well, that helped. Mm, that's a link. Let's see. Let me check this link out. Uh, huh. Of course, we know it works on nausea, nasal congestion, sinus pressures, allergies, and postnasal drip. Huh. Interesting. Well,
What kinds of sciences?
well, they're calling it something else. We were talking about,
Mucus
yeah,
relief.
yeah. It's a Alka Seltzer. You know those big tablets that used to put in the
Yeah,
water, and they, yeah.
you drink.
And it says it's good for nasal congestion, sinus pressure, allergies, and postnasal drip. Which right now with my allergies, I've got all of those, including my eyes. Huh? Might have to might have to try that. Oh, this is that thing. You know what? Oh, this machine, Lawrence. I watched a video. You know how YouTube has people that test stuff out? I seen somebody use that and they couldn't handle it. They kept trying to spit that stuff out their nose.
Oh man,
Oh, well, that's one way to clear it up. But yeah, that's interesting. That's a machine that you put it in. You put it in your mouth, and I guess it cycles everything. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That seems interesting. At this point, I'm willing to do anything because I hate allergies. I mean, I always have Benadryl on hand because I do have a cat, and I'm allergic to cats. But I've had her for 8, almost 9 years, and she ain't going anywhere. But so I always have Benadryl, and it always helps. But boy, I'll tell you, these allergies from the weather and the stuff they're spraying ain't helping. I know that for sure. They are bad. I hadn't heard anything
some
on.
of those nasal sprays. I think I had gotten a couple of them. And they sent me a letter to the VA, told me to get rid of them because they were contaminated.
Oh, lovely. What kind were they giving you? They were giving me those.
A congestion, the spray that you spray in your
Yeah,
nostrils.
yeah.
They sent me like 2 months later. They told me to get rid of them because I was like, wait a moment, were they trying to infect me with something? But they didn't know is I wasn't taking it. But they sent me a letter to get rid of them because they were contaminated.
They I have Flonase. Um,
Yeah, there it is. Flonase, what I'm talking about.
yeah, I've got some of that, but with my allergies the way they are right now, that's not even helping. And when you do the Flonase, all you do is taste and smell flowers, which, okay, but still, yeah, oh, and I have never had sinus allergies, and I lived in California, Ohio, Tennessee, uh, Arizona, Nevada, and I've never gotten sinus allergies. I moved here the first year I was here. It was absolutely, I was miserable. And I couldn't figure out why my forehead and under my eyes and my face hurt. So I made a doctor's appointment and went in there, and he says, "What are you in here for?" And I said, "I don't know what's going on. My entire face hurts. I mean, I hurt here and I hurt here." And I was showing him, and he just looked at me and laughed and said, "Welcome to Texas." I'm like, "What?" So I went home from my hospital, my doctor's appointment, and told my husband, I said, apparently I'm allergic to Texas.
Is the cedar.
Yeah. But I've never had anything like this before, ever, till I moved here.
Is bad. The pollen from the cedar and all that's bad. And
Yeah.
then when you get the one that crosses across the ocean from Africa,
Oh,
man, it gets really bad. And that's the last time that happened. That's when they called they said they were in lockdown because of of the virus.
yeah. And right now,
But it wasn't the virus; it was the pollen coming from overseas. I
I
mean,
won't,
coming from Africa and all from that direction this ways, crossing the Gulf, came in the air. It was airborne, and all kinds of people started having those symptoms
uh,
of allergies.
well, right now, because that my one side is bleeding, I won't use any nasal spray because if I try to use the Flonase on that side now, with it being raw like that and bleeding, it's gonna burn so bad. So I won't use any nasal decongestants right now. Now the thing that Lawrence is talking about with the salt water and you get it from the back, so it kind of helps. Uh, that would probably be doable. But anything that's got any kind of chemicals in it, it probably will burn really bad. And my eyes already
Well,
water enough as it is.
when you were a policeman, Sister Brenda, what was the craziest thing that you? I mean, I know you had what you had to do, but you ever get any calls about maybe somebody outside of their home, or they have an intruder, or something that is your paranormal? You ever get any calls like that?
Well, I worked with a lot of, being in Nevada, we dealt with a lot of like drunk people walking down the street getting hit by cars, or out in the middle of nowhere, a stretch of road. Somebody called in and said there was a naked woman running around out there. And
Wow.
I went out there to find her. She said somebody was chasing her, but there was nobody around.
So you did
I
find her.
and I could, yeah, I found her.
That
Couldn't
you were
figure out
naked.
why she, but yeah, she was naked,
She was
nothing on.
moonlighting.
I was like, she said somebody was chasing her. And I
Hmm.
said, do they have your clothes? Where are your clothes? And I finally had to hand her off to the EMS because I felt like she was just high on something. She didn't know where her clothes were. She couldn't tell me where she lived. She acted like she was just drunk out of her mind. I don't know if somebody drugged her and she got
Could
away
have
or
been.
what. Oh, yeah, it was crazy. She was out there in the middle of nowhere, just walking around butt naked in the dark. I mean, it just, that. And then when I had to throw Willie Nelson out of the hotel room, tell me I had to stay in his bus because He was getting every floor around him high.
Where was this at?
In Nevada, at one of the hotels. He was performing out there, and he got a hotel room, and the people, I guess they were calling the hotel because the floors above him and the floors below him, they were complaining about the pot smell real bad. And we showed up there. Well, I'll tell you what, he opened up that door, and I thought all of us were going to be high. And we told him, we said, look, we don't care what you do. We know who you are and what you do, but you're going to have to go and stay in your bus because everybody around you is complaining about the smell, the smoke. They're probably high, and everybody's going to want to go eat later, but you have to go stay in your bus. And he was like, all right. And back then, by rights, we could have arrested him, but we weren't going to do that because, well, he had to perform the next day. And we all knew Willie Nelson, that's what he does. He's done it all his life. He gets high. That's it. But,
Somebody said, seriously,
yep.
you had to throw Willie Nelson out?
Yep. We told him he had to go stay in his bus.
Did he pay taxes?
I don't know if he paid his taxes or not. I think we paid his taxes. But yeah.
He's still alive, or did he pass away?
No, he's still alive. I don't know how, but he is still alive. Let's see, who else? Oh, do you remember who Debbie Reynolds is?
Mm-hmm.
She got drunk at one of the hotels one night, and they had like this, I don't know what you want to call it, a lounge with a piano. And she was drunk, and she was in there playing on the piano, trying to sing. And finally, we had to go get her out of there and make her go to her room because she was annoying everybody, I guess. So we had to deal with her. Trying to think who else. Of course, I got to hang out with Toby Keith for a whole day. That was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I met a lot of people out there. So, but yeah, Willie Nelson, I will never forget. And it's funny because I'm going to tell you, the very first time I ever met Willie Nelson was not the time we had to make him leave. We were at one of these hotels. We were doing a check-in on somebody because people said they hadn't seen him, and he was staying in one of the rooms. Well, we contacted this guy. Everybody was leaving. I go walking down the hallway, and I see somebody coming up the hallway with a paper in his hand, and he's looking at all of the rooms, and he's walking some more. And I looked at him, and I said, "Can I help you?" I didn't recognize him. And honestly, I thought he was a bum off the street. Okay. And he said, "Yeah, I'm looking for my room." And I said, "You have a room here?" And it wasn't until I picked up the phone and I called the front desk, and I'm like, "Hey, you got a guy up here, doesn't look like he belongs here, said he's looking for his room." And they're like, "What's his name?" I said, "What's your name, sir?" And he tells me his name, and I was like, "Oh."
Did he sing a song at least?
No. Yeah, that was a little embarrassing because I really did. I thought he was a bum. I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing in here?" Yeah, I had fun out there, though. I met some very interesting people. Interesting. I've met Hall and Oates. Just a lot of interesting people. Yeah, I'll never forget Willie Nelson, and I'll never forget what he looks like again. I thought he
He's a
was a
legend.
I thought he was a bum. I was gonna throw him out of the hotel.
Willie Nelson used to be part of the, wasn't it the Texas Tornadoes? Yeah, Willie
uh,
Nelson,
I think so.
Little Joe. Who was the other? Yeah, there was a couple of other guys that were in there. Well, I think they were called the Texas Tornadoes. I think I'm not sure.
uh, yeah, I'll tell you. I I I have met some of the strangest people in my life, for real. Just just doing work. Uh, People in the Girls Gone Wild bus. Just hmm. You know, I can't say that if I ever had to do my life over again, if I would do it different. I don't think I would. Even though, I lost my leg and all that, I don't think that I would do anything different because everything that happened in my life made me, I think, a better person than what I could have been. Because I grew up around some really messed up stuff, so I could have ended up being a lot worse. So I think that I had a pretty decent life growing up. So I wouldn't change anything. I really wouldn't.
I don't think it was in there.
What?
I was looking for a text. I don't think it was in there. It was somebody else.
Oh,
Flaco Jimenez, Augie Myers, Doug Sam, and Freddie Fender.
uh, at that time, yeah, because weed was illegal. It's not like it is now. But with me, I never really had a problem with people smoking weed because back then they grew it in their backyards, so they didn't add all the mess that they add to it now. Now, any other kind of drugs like that, yeah, they would get in trouble. But if somebody has a small bag of weed on them, it's more work to do the paperwork that you have to do if you arrest them than it is just take that and go somewhere. So as long as they weren't walking around with a bong hanging out of their mouth through the casino floors or on the streets, you know, we really didn't. It was more hassle than it was worth, so we didn't bother. I mean, if we pulled over a truck and the truck was wall to wall, floor to ceiling with bricks of marijuana, well, yeah, we're going to say something. But having their own personal, nah, that was too much paperwork to have to do. You spend more time doing that than your actual job.
Well, they have a meet a quota.
Yeah, they tell you that that's not true, but don't ever believe that. At the end of every month they have it set where you are supposed to do so many tickets. Like you've got to prove that you're out there working, basically, is what they want. So you have so many tickets every month that you should be writing. And they do that by they take the statistics of how many people live in that city, if it's a tourist city or whatever, that it estimates breaks down to how many officers they have on duty per shift. So each officer should be writing, say, at no less than 50 tickets a month. So if they get down to the end of that month and they've only written 10 tickets, well, you better move your fanny and get at least close. So, but they always tell you No, that's not true. Police don't have a quota. Yes, yes, it is true. They do.
At the animals, you see them all the time. They're camped out and pulling people left and right.
Yeah. Sitting on the side of the highway because they know there's somebody with a heavy foot that's going to come.
They get the speed traps on and everything.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, uh, I heard that they're trying to get these drones here in Texas to where the drones will hover and fly around over the highways, and the drones will be able to take shots of your license plate, and you can get a ticket with they're using drones. And I thought, but that might make for a legal case where you could fight that in court. Because how does that drone know that it was actually you that was flying by and not the people next to you?
You remember the video where I'm out there investigating? The drone comes out of nowhere and just looking at me. And it turns the light and it's looking at me, following me around in the woods.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I found out why it was following me. I think on that day there was a girl that went up missing on the other side of town. Something dealing with the mother. The mother was on drugs or something, and they were trying to locate the girl. And they found her, but she was in another other side of town in some woods. So they had dispatched drone police, the drones to go look for the girl.
oh, yeah. We've
They
had a
found
yeah. Well,
I think they found them. They found them.
yeah, and they're starting more and more to use drones for things. I heard a thing they were talking about like Walmart. Walmart may start doing deliveries with drones, but you can't. They can't handle a whole lot of groceries, so it's only going to be for like if you're in the middle of cooking something and you've run out of butter, you can call and have it delivered, and they'll let you know when it's outside, and the drone drops the cable with the butter on it, and then drives off. Woo!
It's crazy.
Telling you, people are doing too much with these robots now. Way too much. But well, Abe, I am going
Well,
to, huh?
yeah, we're at the hour and 37 marker right now.
Yeah.
But thank you, Sister Brenda, for jumping on. I know the sleep monster's trying to attack me right now too.
Is
Then
it?
I got the ceiling fan on, and it feels fresh in here.
Ah, see, yeah. That's why I keep my house cold. I sleep better when it's cold than when it's hot. So yeah, I like it. All right, Abe. Well, I will see you later. Thanks for having me up.
No problem. You
And
have a good night.
you too. You have a blessed night and get some rest.
I will.
All
Thank you,
right.
Sister Brenda.
Bye bye.
Bye. I think I'm going to lower down this fan here. I'm not sure. Or just leave it on. Yeah, I hadn't been feeling well for about a couple of days now. Getting like congestion, mucus coming out, eyes burning, stuff like that. That's what's been happening to me. But hanging in there. I got my minerals around. Is a black tourmaline necklace, and it's got other minerals on it in between. It's a black tourmaline necklace. I got it for protection. You know, yeah. You know when it's your sinus and your because sometimes you'll have earaches. That's part of the sinus, so your ears will start hurting. I don't know if anybody wants to jump on, share a story. Since everybody talking about they kill this, they kill that, I can share a story or something that happened to me, dealing with fighting spiritually, uh, the things that I've encountered, that I've made contact with, and things have happened. Can share a couple of stories. So we're talking about allergies, allergies, trees, grass, leaves, pollen. Yeah, here there's a lot of cedar in central Texas. So when that starts, it's up in the air. Uh, it affects your breathing, your sinus, and everything like that. But I can share some experiences of what I've, a couple of stories. Since we're talking about trees, well, this is dealing with something in that nature, dealing with a tree. Um, it was on Easter, like in 2000, and I would say, to remember what year it was, 2000, around 2011. I had bought my son some baby chicks that are colored, like there were, one was green and one was blue, for Easter. So we kept them in the house and we would feed and stuff like that. And well, this little chicks grew, and they grew up to be little roosters. I would put them on my shoulder. They would be on my shoulders. You know, we take them outside so they can eat worms or whatever. Then one day, I told my son, "Look, I don't want to get in trouble here in the mobile home park." It was in Elms Grove. I said, "Let's leave them in the cage, and we'll take them over here. We'll put them on the tree. We'll leave it on the street." So we'll walk through this empty lot. There's woods. There was this tree. So we'll put it up here in the tree, and we'll come back tomorrow and feed them or whatever. Give them water. I just didn't know how crazy the wildlife is out there. How there's things that'll attack, right? That'll attack the. You leave something in the cage like that. There's weasels and other wildcats they'll see that as food or whatever. So the following day we went back to check up on them, and we found the cage on the ground, and there was feathers everywhere, but there was no roosters. So what was weird about this, brother and sisters, uh, is that when we started this, the reason we picked this location is because underneath this big, huge tree, it was like a shade tree. There was nothing underneath the tree. It was just, nothing, just empty spot. So I picked that spot to put the cage up there. So I'm looking around. I could see feathers on the ground. I'm trying to see if there's any blood or anything. I'm not seeing nothing. So as I go around the tree, there was like two rocks, and on those rocks, it's like a flat rocks. On those rocks were the head of both of the roosters. Like somebody cut the heads off and left the heads of the roosters there. This what we seen, you know. Well, I seen because my son was not underneath the tree. I told him to stay out there. So I found the head of the roosters, and I left the area trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Why would they take the whole body but just leave the heads? So I started thinking, and I was like, man, maybe somebody killed them and shot their heads off, or something, something in the nature, right? There's things when we talk about chickens or roosters, rituals that can be performed. When we talk about shapeshifter skinwalkers, in Elms Grove, they exist there. So I'm thinking, well, maybe the Shifter Skinwalker uh, cut their heads off. It's a blood ritual or something like that. So I went back the following day just to see if I could see any traces of anything else. So when I went back the following day, underneath the tree, there were like 12 trees that grew underneath that tree. And there were like, I would say 12 to 14 foot tall. And they were everywhere. And I was like, wait a moment. There's no way these trees grew overnight. So the first thing that I think of is remember the head of the chickens. So it had to be some blood ritual that was performed because those trees wasn't there, and there was like 12 trees, 12 to 14 trees underneath the big tree. So I got pissed off. I went home, grabbed my gear, and I told my son to wait for me out there. I pull out my machetes that I have. These machetes that I have, they're like from Vietnam. They're sharp. So I went underneath there and I start chopping down those trees. And I'm praying the Our Father as I'm doing this. Because how could there be 12 trees that are like 13 and 14 foot tall when there wasn't there the day before? No way in the world that it's going to happen. So as I'm praying the Our Father and I'm chopping them, the weird thing about it is when I chopped the tree, the first tree, it looked like red was coming out of it. Literally looked like blood coming out of that tree. So every tree that I cut with a machete literally looked like blood. The blades were full of blood. So I chopped down all those trees that grew underneath the giant tree. They came out of nowhere. And there's nowhere in the world that they're going to grow overnight like that to be 12 to 14 foot tall. So I chopped them off and then I left. I left that wooded area. It was just, I did what I did, but I'll never forget the blood that was coming out of those trees. I believe there was a blood ritual done. The chickens were the sacrifice. And what grew from the blood sacrifice were those 14 trees that grew. So what am I saying? We know the natives bury the dead. They use trees as markers sometimes. Sometimes they have graves that they place like a rock formation, like a pile of rocks. That's the grave tombstone is the. Sometimes they'll put it like a little pyramid, a pile of rocks like a pyramid, and that's letting you know it's a marker that they buried something there. So what I'm saying is, when you hear that Bigfoots or dogmen's go into trees, well, it's not. There's no way that can happen. If they're flesh and blood creatures, they're running to the tree, they're going to get knocked out. But they can't go through it because if they're real, right, they wouldn't have that ability. So what is it saying? They're saying that whether it's a Bigfoot or dogman and they're going through the trees, it's because it's something that got summoned or some kind of spirit that has it's in spirit form, so it's able to go into objects. So that's what I remember was the reddish, looked like blood. They I shut down those 14 trees, and that's what it was. It looked like blood. Uh, that's what I believe happened was somebody performed some kind of blood ritual with my roosters. So let me see here. Well, just put it this way. I selected the area under the tree. There was no trees. It was empty underneath it. It was a huge tree. After my roosters got killed, when I went back the following day to look, is when I found the 14 big trees underneath there. And I'm like, there is no way in the world that a tree is going to grow that fast in one freaking day, from one day to the other. When I chopped down the trees, my machete had blood on them. I think if I were to show till this day, they still get stains on them. What seem to be blood from those trees that I chopped down. So, sometimes if the land is cursed, right, that they use the trees to hide. A tree can be used as a marker, like if somebody dies, and like oak trees or cedar trees, they can use them as markers, and the spirit continues to live within that tree, right? And I believe when those 14 trees grew, and it was out of the blood sacrifice of the little roosters, then he had some kind of life through the blood sacrifice. So when I cut the trees, blood was coming out of them. So it didn't stop. I'm going to continue, but it didn't stop there. Okay. I'm going to tell you other things that happened after that incident. After that incident, at that time, prior military and everything, I'll do certain kind of training, and I would train with this tree that was in front of my house. It was like a sap tree, and I would train, punching and stuff like that. Well, one day, something happened. There was an argument, and I was upset, and because this person, tried to do something to me, and I was upset, and I was trying to stay calm and relaxed, so I took it out on the tree, and I was so upset that day that I was able to penetrate the tree with a punch, and my fist went through the tree, literally went inside the tree. And when I pull out my fist out of the tree, there was like all kinds of goo on my hand. So that tree died. That tree died from the damage I did to it, and I felt bad because it was a living tree, and I killed the tree. Mother Nature doesn't like it when you mess with Mother Nature. Well, I was pissed off what happened to my roosters. So then one day, when the tree died, there's the irony of it. The tree died. Then one of the branches from on top of the tree broke and went right through my windshield. So to me, I was like, okay, that's somebody telling me something. You messed up. You messed up this tree. Boom. The branch broke, and it broke my windshield. I had to replace the windshield on my truck. So one night, my dog is barking, and I go outside. It's a nighttime, and as soon as I walk off my porch, imagine I have a mobile home, I have a porch. I'm walking down my porch, and as soon as I touch the sidewalk, when I come up my porch, I see something right there beside me, looking at me. And it happened so fast that I threw a punch at it out of natural reaction. It was right there. I threw a punch at it, and it felt like as my fist went right through it. But then as I come back this ways and I'm looking, it's still standing there. What I'm witnessing, brothers and sisters, is imagine this. It looks like a form of a human, but it's not human. Uh, it's a red mass. It's kind of like a person without the subcutaneous layer, without the skin layer. It's all red. It's standing right in front of me, and I got my guards up. And next thing you know, it lunges at me. And when it lunges at me, it comes straight towards my midsection, and it starts going through my midsection. So as soon as it's going through my midsection, I say, a tie bound rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ. And when I said that, it exploded, and it was like stuff all over the place. Like it went in different directions. My stomach was hurting. I got back inside the house. I sat on the bed, and my son said, "Dad, what happened to your back?" And he got my phone. He took a picture, and I had some scratches on my back. I believe what I encountered, since it was colored red, that's not good. I thought about a lot of possibilities what it could be. The red, well, I seen red from those trees that I shot down. There's one possibility it could have been, uh, which would be the red would stand for something demonic. That's one of the possibilities. The other possibility that I thought could be also was from the tree that I destroyed. And maybe it was something that was within that tree that came out of the tree. That's one possibility. And then the other possibility is possibly a shapeshifter skinwalker, not in full manifestation, but in just the manifestation of this just the epidermis, what's it called, epidermis, or the flesh. It was in full manifestation. But I did get rid of it when I typed in Jesus Christ's name. But then that's when I started realizing that the trees in Elms Grove have activity on them. That I think that there's a lot of oak trees there, and oak trees, cedar trees that are markers. That's what I thought. That a lot of these trees are markers of native Indian burial grounds. I started figuring these things out. That there's the markers of the underneath those trees, somebody's buried there, right? Then after I did the show and everything, I was told by a person that built a old airport by where I live. He told me that when they built that airport, that they found a big Indian burial ground. And he said that the Indian burial ground was all from the golf course to the airport, all the way to where the mobile home was, where I lived. That all that area is native Indian burial ground. So that would make sense of the activity that I was witnessing. Oh yeah, it's just a lot of strange activity like that. Yeah, yeah. Uh, there's only one way that I think the only solution that I think could have happened, and is that they use the chickens as a blood ritual. and they summoned something. The things that they summoned were, since it was daytime, they were in the form of trees. I'm more than sure that since they were like around 13 or 14 foot tall, that maybe at nighttime there would be something else. But they were like uh, 13, 14 foot tall. I was guided spiritually to 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 chop them down, and I did. And when I chopped them down, it's when I was seeing the blood coming out of the trees. And my son was out there. I didn't bring him in there, and I think that was the last time I ever went to that place. I think I have a video of that. I think I have a picture of that tree. I don't know if I got a picture of the other trees that were there because I chopped them down. But there was just an eerie feeling. I think there was a something there, like a portal, because I have an image of it, of this tree, where there's something there, and I can share it with y'all so y'all can check it out. So when I hear about a person talking about they kill a dog, man, well, spiritually, I've done things that I just follow orders, spiritual orders. I was ordered to chop down those trees. I chopped down those trees, and there was blood coming out of them. And there's no way those trees would have grown overnight. From one night to another, no way that they're going to grow for like around 14 feet high. No way. I've heard the natives used to do blood rituals. For example, some of the blood rituals they used to do. There was one they would do. Okay, the shamans, the natives that lived in Central Texas, they were called the Tankawans. Uh, Sometimes they will make a circle formation they will make a circle formation with rocks, and the shaman will get in his gear. Sometimes he will wear masks or animal heads or whatever on them. When they make the circle formation, the only people that were in the circle was two people. Either if somebody was sick, and he was the only one to enter the circle to heal the person, and then the other time is when somebody's dying. They will form a circle with a person that's ill, and the shaman will help them cross over into spirit, right? That's why they would do those circles to heal and to help them cross over. But then there's another circle they would do, but this wasn't a circle of rocks. This other circle they would do was a blood ritual. The blood ritual was done when the Tanka ones, there were, you could say, they call them dirty Indians, but the Tanka ones, they were, what's the word I'm looking for here? Cannibalistic, cannibals. They used to work with the first cav when they were in horse regiments. They were cannibalistic. There's a story. I think the soldier was named. I can't remember the name of the soldier, but I'm thinking he was named John Smith. I'm not sure the name of the soldier. They went out to capture, and they had a captured I think in a Cherokee. Was it no Comanche? They captured a Comanche, and the Tonka ones, that were good trackers. They were hunters, so they captured the Comanche, and the Cav soldier went to go look for them, and when he found them that they were cannibalizing them. They had eaten them. This was when they had those wanted dead or alive. So they were cannibalizing them, eating the heart and everything out of this person. So he talked about the story. And we know what happens when people cannibalize in that kind of way, that they become, you know, the word that they don't like to use, wind, IGO. Well, as the story goes, was this Tonkawan's made enemies of the Apaches and Comanches and other tribes, and they formed together. The other tribes formed together, and they came to Central Texas, and they were killing them off. They were killing them. They were killing the Tonkawans. Some of the families, or the Tonkawas that have families, didn't want to die in the hands of the enemy that way. So what happened is the head of the household, um, they literally lived. They were like woodlanders, lived near the creeks. They built their their things out of branches, you know, like their little teepees made out of just branches. You know, when you see those things, people say, "Oh, there's a Bigfoot built this." Well, Woodlander natives used to live that way. You know, some of them will make their little huts with mud and stuff like that. Well, what happened is the head of the household will make everybody hold hands, and this will happen at nighttime. They would do a blood ritual. So the head of the household, since they were coming for them, they knew they were going to die. They didn't want to die in the hand of the enemies, or to them their enemies. So he would slit the wrist of each family member, children and his wife. Then he would slit his wrist, and they will hold hands in a circle formation till they bled out. So as the story goes, when the sun would rise in the morning, out of the center of that circle where the blood spilled, the one would show its presence. Because when they would do the blood ritual, it was for how should I say, revenge. So when the sun would rise, the one would rise, which is a dark entity. They would rise from the circle, kind of like a demigod, but we know it's demonic because it's a blood sacrifice. So the capabilities that is the one that they call the one would have is that it could manifest from Mother Nature itself. You could use the leaves, the vines, whatever, anything that's within Mother Nature, it can use to manifest. But their mission was for vengeance, to kill anything that's there in that location where it becomes its territory. So when I heard the story, I read the story of the one at a public library because I was trying to find out answers of what happened to me with the blood and the trees. Like it was, I was trying to figure out what's going on. Then I figured out that those trees, if there was blood spilled there, that possibly could have been ones also. Just like there was that much blood, like when they did the circle formation, but it was still blood. And if somebody used it as a sacrifice ritual, that they might have summoned something, kind of like when those people died with the circle formation, their blood spilled on the ground and the one would rise. So basically what I'm saying is that there's a lot of things out there in them woods, brothers and sisters. We don't know what kind of rituals been done in the past and stuff like that. They have the capabilities because they were summoned. So they have some kind of authority to be in those locations. So when I hear I know what happened to my son, he would tell me that the men in black called him to the woods, where the one is a dark entity. and that's around the same location. I know where that the circle formation was in those woods. I just haven't gone back in there because that's where it's called the one resides, and it can blend in with Mother Nature itself. That you don't even know it could be there. It could be in the form of a tree. It could be in the form of a tree trunk. You know, it has the ability to manifest with anything dealing with Mother Nature. It's called the one. We got Andres trying to join the stream. How you doing, Andres?
I'm fine. I'm willing to believe some of what you're saying, especially involving a possible ritual happening at the tree right now. You're talking about. There's more than a few phenomenon happening in terms of like witchcraft, even some stuff mentioned from the Bible about trees being like living beings and all that. There's stuff mentioned in all types of games, movies, all that stuff,
Well,
especially concerning Bigfoot and all that.
well, there's one thing that stuck out to me is when they said that the thing, which is the one that they said were big as oak trees. Didn't it say the Nephilim was big as oak trees?
Supposedly, when the trees back then must have been huge.
Yeah, different, right?
Yeah, different compared to the ones now.
But there is a lot of activity within the trees, brothers and sisters, especially if it's a native Indian burial ground and the trees are tall now. But if there's a somebody buried underneath the tree, yeah, it's going to have all kinds of activity. I think I got a picture of the tree. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. I had my other phone and I lost my photos of all the all the things that I had. That's a true story that happened there to me there in Elms Grove, and of course, shapeshifter skinwalker activity, and then I started seeing the lycanthropes slash werewolf slash shapeshifter skinwalkers, and the shadow figures. All kinds of things started surfacing. It was a hot spot, man. And there's another thing was in that location. Of course, the creek, but there was an embark, and this embark had a giant tower. So I'm beginning to think, and right by the embark was the airport. So I'm beginning to think if the towers had to do anything with the activity that was happening there, because they have a signal, right?
Yeah, they do. And as I was saying earlier, there's a bunch of folklore with all the religions or magic, witchcraft that involves trees. And there's several of these things. Most people try to use them for good, let them do their own thing, or even there's like several encounters with some of these trees even becoming alive and moving on their own. And they're doing it for their own reasons. Some legends say they're escaping, they're moving on their own, or they're cursed, trying to cause harm.
Because I've seen videos where people that say that the tree's moving, but there is machines that can pick up trees from the roots
Yeah,
and lift
there
them.
is. Hey, would you be willing to drop a link? I want to see if a guy in chat would be willing to come on.
Alrighty, I'll drop it. Yeah, it's open mic night. You know, whoever wants to jump on and talk about something, let's talk about it. There it is. Yeah, I'll see if we can find a picture of the tree. I thought I had a video, but I'm gonna have to look into the archives up here on my messenger. See if I can find that tree. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Luckily, I got a copy of. I just don't know how far it goes. Let me know when he wants if he wants to join, Andres. If you're listening,
Yeah, I'm listening.
I'm looking through my messenger right now to see if I can find the tree. Looking through all my old pictures here. Once I find it, I'll be able to share it. I just don't know how far this goes.
Oh, yeah, and I just looked up that the Nephilim being compared to the trees. Yeah, it's just it is mentioned, but they're compared to the like cinders of Lebanon. But they did compare the strength of Nephilim to oaks. Yeah, there's a bunch of folklore surrounding trees. And if I remember correctly, there's actually one. I'm not sure if it's Japanese or Chinese. One of the two. That's also like a bleeding tree. That's also mentioned, but it's not like a good one.
You
Supposedly,
say it's in. You think it's in? You say it's in China?
no, there's like some folklore in China. It's either in Chinese or Japanese that has something similar to like where it bleeds red. And I'm not talking about like the red slap that the guy in chat was sleeping earlier. It was like actual blood. It's in one of their folk tales, but supposedly this thing is not good. And if you maybe trip over one of its roots or something, this thing captures you and pretty much unalives you.
I'm trying to find that. I'm going through all my photos here right now. See if I can find a picture of the tree. Said I lost my other phone. Gave out the one where I had all my photos and stuff.
Okay, JCT, like it'd be easier to hear it from you in person, dude. Like you can only get so much, and like from just typing it, and uh your typing is kind of messing up some words. Not sure if that's on purpose or if you're just using like a phone or keyboard. That's why I asked.
What is he saying, brother? I can't see what he's saying right now because I'm looking for the picture.
He just said, "Nah, I'm fine with possible explanations from a description of all of the experience. So how can I explain it beyond just feasible?" Yeah, dude, I think it would just be easier.
Yeah, I'll show you the tree in a moment. That's what I'm looking for right now. Oh, I think I might have found it. Standing right
Okay,
there.
that's why I said if you're disabled, so am I. If you can just click the link and just talk. I'm not coming at you, man.
Well, I found part of the image of the tree that I can share, where there's definitely something there, but this is not the whole tree. It's part of the tree. Uh, well, let me see if I can find the original tree because I've shared that image here before. Let's see if I can find it. Where is he from?
No
Uh,
idea, but he says you can't do call. You can't do a call. So,
oh, that's
all right.
fine. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm looking for.
JC, a quick question for you. Do you actually believe in the supernatural or no?
What JC saying here. I'm still looking for the
Oh,
photo.
he just said he can't do like a call. Like that's all right. If he was
Oh,
going
that's
to, he doesn't have to show his face like I'm doing right now. I was just curious, and I just asked him a question if he believes in it. If he believes in the supernatural, like well, just about everybody else here. Everybody in this chat room on this channel has had some kind of natural experience at some point in their lives. Some of us several. Supernatural is superficial. Like this dude, this world is it's a lot. It's not the way we think it is. That's for sure. It's, everything around us is, in a sense, just well. In my opinion, what we know now, our current understanding of science is doesn't even scratch the fraction of what the world actually is. It's a lot deeper, and it's something beyond our comprehension.
yeah. I'm really going through all the pictures here, man. See if I can find that photo. So, what does he believe in, Andres?
Yeah, he hasn't given an answer to that, but he says he believes something we don't know happened. His words supernatural is superficial.
Hmm. Well, I mean, maybe he hasn't had. Does he believe in Jesus Christ?
I am not sure about that. Uh, Based on his response, I wouldn't. I'm gonna say like 50-50, but I'm leaning more towards not because
You're saying, yeah, because spirits dealing anything dealing with spirit, that's it comes from the dealing with Jesus Christ also.
if the supernatural is superficial, it just says it's not real. If you're so rooted in the physical world, you won't understand some of this stuff, and if you just decide to look at well everywhere, if you look for the signs like it tells us to,
Boy, I didn't know it was gonna be that hard to find this photo here. Still looking for it. Oh, this is it. I think I found it. Let me see if there's another. Okay, we got one, two.
okay, when we mention Jesus, we literally mean Jesus Christ, the man from the Bible,
Here
the
you
one
go.
everybody, no, for the most part around the world, if you like read it, that Jesus Christ that we mentioned, him.
I'm back now. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick, and I'm fixing to share this photo. Let me catch up on the comments so I know where we're at. Certain cults use blood rituals. People that do the voodoo, the ones that worship, was it Shiva, the one with six hands, Santa Muerte, use blood rituals to sacrifice things for the deities that they worship, and many others, right? Do blood rituals, blood sacrifices.
Okay, that's just the thing about it, JC. In a sense, you will get to know him, just not in the way we think. We're not. Well, maybe at some point in our lives we will have an encounter with him as well. There are several people who say they have met him. They've heard his voice. They even had a conversation with him. Everybody says they know him, but he even says there will be several people who claim to be followers, but they're false. Everybody tries to use the fact they say they know him, but only those who truly met him know what he looks like, what his presence is, and what he can do.
Here it is. I think there's like some kind of portal there. Because that tree that's there is old. I think that's the only tree that's left in that area. They knocked out all the trees, and that tree is the only one left. Like they didn't knock it down, but they knocked out all the other trees that were in that area, and that's the only tree that stands there. But right here, you can see there's something there. If you really look at this close up of this picture, you can see there's certain things there in the photo. When we talk to things of the paranormal, for example, looks like behind the tree there's something sitting there looking, and it's got two ears, pretty good size, whatever that is. And there's just a screenshot of when I did a recording. That I seen that. I'm like, man, what is that? There's all kinds of different things there, like activity when it comes to the spiritual activity of things. Let me see if I can get a close up of that. That's there. See what this is right here. Man, that one up there looks kind of like a squatch, man. Do you see the
Yeah,
face up there under this?
I think I might see more than one, but the other two are possibly smaller.
Huh?
I see the face you're pointing out, but I see two other ones, but they're near the bottom.
Yeah, right here. Right here. But you see the squash-like looking creature up here?
Yeah,
I'm just saying how they surface up. They show themselves. Something down here in the ground. Possibly something else right here. I'm not sure. I'm just sharing of the activity that's here. Something else here. That tree still stands. That's the only thing that stands is this tree. What I'll do is I'll go back to the video and I'll take a screenshot of the tree so you can see how big it is. This is underneath the tree. I hadn't noticed this before. This is the first time I noticed it right here.
noticed what the stuff underneath it, or the one on top.
The one on top and the one underneath. But the one on top is the first time I ever noticed it. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and save it for later on. See if I can work on it. Let me go back to you. Yeah, that one up on top, man. It's got the face, what seems to be squash-like. You know what people say, supposedly a squash looks like, looks Sasquatch-like. Yeah, and something that looks like a cat or a some kind of, because of the ears right there in the bottom. Then something else that looks like an old lady. I'm not sure. Possible bruja right there. Yeah, definitely something there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the video because I got this video of when I went into the woods, and I'm gonna debunk it slower, see what else I capture there, and I'll take a bunch of screenshots of how the trees looked at the time that I went down there when the incident happened with the roosters. I have another image of another entity that I could share with you. Let me find it. So I'm just showing you the tree, but I got another image somewhere here of something else that I captured. Let me go find it for y'all. I just don't know where it's at. And I'll go look for it. So how was your day, Andres?
My day went pretty fine. Everything went well. I just made myself some tacos de bistec, pretty tasty. Yeah, in terms of the whole allergy things that you guys were talking about, I noticed for some odd reason I just got started sneezing a whole lot, but it got better. Yeah, something was happening over here in Illinois. One thing I did find a bit interesting that happened like maybe yesterday or day before that was I think I had a pretty sure I had an eagle fly overhead, and that's surprising given I'm in Illinois.
An eagle?
Yep. Because I could see all the like the brown feathers and the yellow beak.
Okay, I found it. Here's the other image. Okay. From the same area, just seems like an entity here of something. We've heard of werewolves, we've heard of dogman, but how about I don't even know what to call it. If it looks like a deer. I think Brother Just Runner was talking about a certain kind of deer, wasn't he?
A not deer.
Andres? What did he call them? No deer? Well, I have a picture of something here, and I don't think it's a deer, but he's standing on twos. It looks like a deer, but he's standing on twos. Let me share it with y'all. Let me share this. Here we go. There it is right there. That's still underneath the tree. There's some other trees that were there, debris, some of the other trees that were there in front. The other trees were this ways that I had got down, but I have sensed something there because I heard movement, I heard something. So I faced, I was recording, and if you pay attention, there's something standing there. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's got some kind of horns up on top. So let me take a closer look at it. Oh, what's going on here? Now y'all can see it there. Then I have another one where it's color brown, but definitely something here. The face.
Looks like it has the horns of a ram or something. I wouldn't know.
Was
Yeah,
it?
it says reminds me. Yeah, it has horns like a ram, but it's just like it's not twisted all the way like a ram's would be. It's just like twisted a little outward.
Yeah, and it's looking right.
Yeah, it's like it's looking, and it looks like it's pretty tall, or it's in the tree looking.
Yeah. So this is the original picture, and there's a close up of it. Tell me your thoughts on that photo right there. That's
What photo?
from the same location of where my roosters are getting killed.
Well, the fact this thing showed up where it's at shows this was no natural phenomenon that happened. If this was nearby, something was already in the area.
And that was some kind of blood ritual, if you got it thought from that.
Yeah, I just wanted to share how it looked. I haven't gone back to those areas, man. I've been staying away. I know what's there. It's the thing. It does take your health away from you. You can wind up getting sick, ill. If you have a spiritual opening, it can attack spiritually. So you have to be careful. And of course, I got the other picture where they ambushed me by the airport. Okay. Let me take those off right there. Yeah, a lot of activity there. I've seen, how monks used to dress back in the day, like monks with a brown or
Yep.
druid-like. I've seen them
Yeah.
walking before the sun sets. I've seen them walking with the sun out along the edge of the wood line in that area, walking towards those trees. I'm thinking that they might have been doing rituals there on those trees, killing people or something. Something was going on there.
Well, it's not surprising if this was near the area where all scrolls was. You already knew somebody possibly died in that area. You weren't given a full answer, but it's pretty easy to figure out what possibly could have happened. Somebody was possibly unalived or something else along those lines. And if something like that showed up, that's just further confirmation that there was something happening, and it wasn't anything good either. This wasn't no natural phenomenon or anything like that. This is something in terms of the supernatural.
Yeah, I think I have some other images here that I can share a short reel. Let me see if I can find something from Elms Grove. I'm going to look into my old short reels from over there of the activity that would happen there. I heard we prayed for Sister Madeline earlier. She's sick right now. She went to the emergency room. His allergies, man, are crazy. I'm telling you. Let me look at this here. What is this? Uh, Let me. What do you want to see, man? I think I have a. Let me go all the way to the beginning of when I first started doing all this. I remember when I started doing this, people say, "We don't see nothing. We don't see nothing." It's because they want to see something that looks real. So when they see a person in costume, they're going to say it's real. You
Of
know.
course they are. They're building all their expectations in terms of like movies, like the freaking Van Helsing one or The Howling. They want to see something like that. But if you get that something like that, and that does happen, they're gonna freaking shit themselves and run like little freaking babies, screaming their heads off. And they expect you to get those kind of freaking like graphics, but they don't realize these graphics you're getting off of like a phone. And sure, some phones have good quality in terms of their cameras, but others not so much. And it's not. And these entities can also affect those cameras, or they can just outright kill the freaking battery. So sometimes you'll be lucky if you even get them, and it's good that you got this much evidence in terms of your investigations.
The
You
thing is,
never.
a short relay created. There's a lot of activity here. It's just I would have to lower it down again to really get a good look at it. But this is where I had the encounter with the one that was real close to me. It's like I knew that there was activity there, but I think this is the one that might have Cocaine Werewolf in it. The original. Let me share it with y'all. It's a short reel. Man, I lost a lot of my footage, Andres. So what's going on here? Here we go.
I remember this one. This is where you also got the freaking werewolf.
Here he is.
Yep, another thing.
There's there's several here. There's one. There's gonna be one here standing right there too. Let me go frame by frame.
Hey, Shade Viking.
More than one. Oh, what is that back there? Yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna download this video and lower down the speed and see what else I capture in there. All right, let me see what. Okay, let me get out of here. How you doing, Shea Bright King? What time we got here? We're almost at the 3 hour marker. I think when we hit the 3 hours, I'm calling it a night, brothers and sisters. The only thing I can say to you, brothers, whoever's here tuning in, what I went through with Zones Grove is not because I was looking for anything. It came to me because it it how should I say, called my son into the woods. That's how everything started. It lured my son into the woods when my son was like 4 years old, and he was playing at the park with my friend's daughter, and we was by the creek, seeing the creek. You know, when children play, you can hear them playing. Then all of a sudden, we can't hear them no more. That's when we knew something wasn't right. We want to go check. We couldn't find them. That park in Elms Grove has two sides to the park. We walked all the way to the other side of the park. We couldn't find them. Walked back. Walked to the house. Went to go look in the house, the mobile home. We couldn't find them. The sun was already setting. So I told my friends to call the cops because we couldn't find them. You know, my son and her daughter. And I went to the park and I prayed to the Heavenly Father to guide me where they're at. You know, when you have that, when you're worried and you're hurting because you don't want to give power to that they're lost or they disappeared. You don't want to believe that. You want to believe that that they're there somewhere, that you're going to find them. And the Heavenly Father helped me find them. You know, where I was able to see them in a distance. A little bit of his hair sticking out from behind a bush. So I ran over there, went through the trees, through the bush line, and they were both standing in front of a tree, big tree. And I was calling their names, but they didn't respond to me. They were like in a trance-like state. And I asked them again, well, what are you doing here? You know, I kept on asking, they wouldn't respond. And so I yelled for my sister and my friend. I told them that I found them, so they came running. And the only thing they said to me was, and they said at the same time, the man in black called us. So they took him home, and I went searching in the woods to see if I could see a man in black, an African American or somebody dressed in black. I searched the woods, I searched the bridge, underneath the bridge, the creek, top of the highway. Couldn't find nobody in black. Following day, my friend got a camcorder, and I said, "Let's go record." So I'll go into the path, and if we can find this man in black and capture him on camera, then we can call the cops and tell them that he lured our children into the woods. So we were recording. I'm walking in front of her, and the only thing I hear is she says, "Maybe one day I'll have her here on the show. Maybe she'll come and share a story of what she remembers." All she said is, "Oh my God, I think I caught something." The next thing you know, when I look, she's taking off. She's running, you know, and I'm looking, trying to see if I sense anything. I'm not seeing nothing. By the time I get home, she's gone. She left her house. So I get in my vehicle, go to her house, and she's just sitting on her couch. And she's got the camera on the other couch. And she's like, "I think I caught something." And she looked scared. She said, "Oh my God, I think I caught something." So I start debunking the video, and I get to the part where she says, "I think I caught something." Then I see it. The one that they call the one that's created out of Mother Nature itself literally looked black. It looked like he had something around his neck, like a what do you call amulet that was like golden, like shining real bright around his neck. And as I was looking, it was straight into the ground, into Mother Nature itself. My friend got scared from the video of what she caught on there. She said, "I want nothing happening coming my way," so she got rid of the video. But then activity still happened at her house, which I had to go cleans their house, and then it's like the rest of her children started getting spiritually attacked by an unseen force at nighttime. The legs were getting pulled, they were getting scratches and bite marks. In my house, the same thing. There was activity happening to my son. That I had a tie bound and rebuke the unclean spirit out of him. It was a Sunday, and I'm there in the room, and he starts walking with his feet on the wall, on his back on the bed, and he's like he was walking on the wall. He gets off the freaking bed, and he starts moving all crazy, like not himself. He looks at me and he starts cussing at me, just saying all kinds of bad words that I never heard before. He takes off running through the mobile home. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and he just keeps on cussing at me. He's not acting himself. So when I finally get in the room, I got my holy water, I place some crosses on them, and I start praying. And I even get an egg for the whatever to cure him from susto, from fear. And I use the egg yolk, and I'm going like this in the egg yolk, and I'm telling whatever's there to go into the egg yolk. I finally cracked the egg yolk, but nothing's in there. But then when I finished, my son, he stops breathing all crazy, becomes normal. So I start looking on the ceiling fan, the chandelier. You can see traces of blood on there. I start looking like on the walls and picture frames. There's like looks like traces of blood. You know, the red that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I go into the living room, and I could see where it's dripping like red, like blood on the chandelier. So I was like, whatever it is, it's an unclean spirit, and it's damaged. You know, in Sinai, or where the tormentors are, they have spirits of very evil people. Sometimes they send them on missions in which the torture that they do there is their flesh comes on and comes back on. It's everlasting. They torture them that way. So I go look, and I had barely bought some oranges. The oranges that are on the table are rotten, black. I'm talking about black rotten. And there's one on top of the pile that's swollen. So we grab all of the oranges, take them out because I feel that that's where it went into. We take all oranges and take them out of the part, and we get rid of them. The last orange that was swollen, it was huge. It looked like a grapefruit. It isn't not even a grapefruit. It was like very huge, swollen, like it was fixing to bust. We threw that one, and when we threw that one and it hit the ground, it looked like blood, like red blood, you know, like all over the ground. But when I went back home, my son was better. But I had to do the same procedure I did at my house. I had to go do it at my friend's house. I had to get rid of the unclean spirit that got attached to her daughter, like it got attached to my son, and get rid of it, get it out of the house.
I wouldn't be surprised if whatever that drew them to that tree was what to use the tree as like some kind of freaking portal and drive them into it. Like they were close to getting there.
Yeah. See, now the incident with my son way before what happened in 2011. So this incident that I'm talking about happened in 2004. So my son was 4 years old. Let me see. No, it happened in 2005, like 2005, because he was 4 years old. He was born 2001. So in 2005 is when it happened. And that's why, you know, I just barely bought the freaking mobile home, man. But like, fuck, I won't have to leave. You know, it's like, man, I'm not living, just barely bought the house, the mobile home, but I don't got it no more. You know, I let it go. I mean, I paid it, but I had to let it go because too many bad things happened there. Too many negative attachments, too much spiritual activity, spiritual warfare. You should have seen all the dents on the side of the mobile home. Should have seen the dents on top of the mobile home where there was activity banging on the walls and running on top of the mobile home. It was crazy, man. And everybody that lived there, like from my family, my nieces and nephews, they still have dreams about that location. And it's not good dreams.
Yeah, like, I agree with what Justin said. That was tainted ground. That was someplace that was not good for anybody. Abe, quick question. Just how much tainted ground do you think that these people, millionaires, all these people who decided to build all these structures on tainted ground, how much do you think is in Texas in general? Because there is a lot of activity in Texas, and I know with how big Texas is, there's got to be a good bit, and not to mention all the wars that happened in it. There's got to be a
Not
good
just the
bit.
wars, but we have all the drug trafficking and human trafficking happening. And how the only way they can cross or get a certain way is because they've been doing it for years. They have a certain structure, you know. The smuggling is illegal structures that are all throughout Texas, probably undergrounds. So there's a lot of people that are being trafficked that way, human trafficking.
Yeah, and that just creates a whole load of negativity, negative energy for these entities to just track on and follow.
It's been happening for many years, and some of these people that are involved in the human trafficking and child trafficking, they're just following suit of those before them that what they did, and it's kind of fucked up because innocent children and women have died throughout the years. Doesn't matter whether if they're coming from Mexico. I mean, if they're getting human trafficked, that means that they're getting taken out of their own will. Am I right, Andres?
Yeah, it is.
They're taking them without their permission. I don't. I mean, nobody wants to get taken to be sold for sex or possibly sold to get sacrificed or killed. Texas is way more ancient than mainstream story. There's caves. I know in Belton they created a man-made lake, uh, but in that lake there was a tunnel. I think one of the Dallas Cowboys from back then was the one that built the Belton Lake. They found a tunnel, went into the tunnel. In that tunnel, there was a statue of a giant bird, like a raven,
It wouldn't
a
have to
big
be
face.
looked like an owl, would it?
Yeah, it was in the cave. So they blew, when they built it, it went underwater. All that went underwater. So it's literally under the ground. And they even have like an altar, like a sacrifice altar or something like that in there. Okay. There's
Well, if
a lot of locations that the engineers you would have to look into the map of Central Texas. If you really look, you'll be able to find the markings of native Indian burial grounds. And it'll be like I think the color that I seen last time was color red, where all these locations are. They're everywhere, man. Unmarked markers, native Indian burial ground.
yeah, Texas is a lot more ancient, but I gotta say some of the other states are too. Like supposedly there's like a theory, I forgot which part of the country that was is supposedly really Egypt, and the Egypt and freaking I forgot which part of the world is just like a fake. I think everything around here is a lot more ancient than we give it credit for, but obviously most of its history was wiped out or covered up. Texas is ultimately surprised if it's one and more older.
Salado has the oldest native Indian burial ground. They discovered a couple of years back. It's older than other native Indian burial grounds around the world. They found all kinds of things: S- uh, s- spears, arrowheads, tools. Uh, they were found near a creek in the land. There's all kinds of like I said, spears, arrowheads that were found. But they found that it's the oldest native Indian burial ground. It's in Salado, Texas. But those natives, they lived everywhere. Woodlanders. Okay. But in saying that, we hit the 3 hour marker, brother. Is
Yep.
there anything you got any questions? Other questions? Or anybody got any questions for us that maybe we can answer? I know there's like other activity, like at Chalk Ridge Falls. I want to go there one day, but I'm to go spiritual ready when I go there, and I want to see what I can record. See if I capture it. I know I'm going to capture something, but it's dangerous because the spirits they're very, how should I say, dangerous. Like they're not going to threaten to hurt you. They're going to hurt you. This is what they want to do.
Oh, they'll do a lot more than that. Don't be surprised if these entities decide if they can't do it themselves, they'll bring along some buddies and haunt you. They'll just follow you wherever you go. Yeah, there's a whole boatload these entities will try to do to get some payback, especially if they think you're insulting them. Like, look at the little freaking asshole that stabbed your ass in the leg because he thought you were calling his girlfriend. You were just minding your own business, and then you
Or
just.
they were mad because of what I done to the tree.
Oh yeah, that too. You don't know what these entities are gonna get pissed about. You can just be breathing in the same air as they
I
are.
don't think they've seen the picture of the fairy. I don't think they've seen the picture of the fairy or the little duende that got me on the Achilles with the spear. Let me see if I can find them. They're probably like, what are they talking about? Here it is, the little duende. Let me share it. There he is. There he is. That's a little sucker that stabbed me in my Achilles.
Yeah, I'm still surprised it looks like this little dude's wearing armor.
They gave me a DTV on my left leg that I have to take warfarin for the rest of my life. It got me good on that Achilles, man. Just showing you the photo of him. It's pretty short, probably like around how tall do you think it is, Andres? Like around this tall?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little smaller. Mostly, like he looks a little taller because he has all that armor or something on his head and his arms.
Just weird.
Yeah.
I'm sharing it, and I. So now I'm gonna that I showed this. What do we call this one? See, he's got armor. It looks like a face of a rat right there, right in front of him.
Yeah.
It stabbed me on my Achilles. I wound up going to the hospital later on, and then they told me I had a blood clot in my left leg.
Yeah,
But
so
it stabbed me with a little spear.
which could have
I
been
put,
possibly laced with poison of
yeah,
some.
pulled the spear out, and my sister put some medicine and bandaged my leg, but I still have problems with it till this day. Okay, let me go to the fairy one, and because we say stories here, and they're like, "What are they talking about?" Well, here we go. Let me show you the little fairy or pixie, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, folks, if you're listening on if you're new here or something, we talk about all sorts of stuff. Like earlier, we were talking about like allergies and possible government spraying stuff into the air. If there's a subject you want to talk about, just talk about it. We get into all sorts of stuff. It doesn't even have to be supernatural. We just talk.
Yeah, whatever topic you want to talk about. Hope she don't hide from me again.
I'm surprised you managed to find a little freaking spirit guy as fast as you did. He's the one who usually hides.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find her.
Oh, Abe, some guy by the name of Outdoors is wondering how did they like get a hold of you
Through Messenger.
on
They want to get a
Facebook?
hold of me. Yeah, through Messenger off of Facebook. They got that. Now the fairies are hiding from me. What the hell?
Of course she is.
It's one because believe it or not, guys, I got a picture of a leprechaun too, or a video, short reel. Okay, where is she at? Come on, Tinkerbell. It's not Tinkerbell. Trying to find the image of her. Where are you? Yeah, it's not the other one. It's the. There she is. I found her. Tell them that they're ready to see the fairy.
So, guys, you heard Abe. Be ready because you're about to see her.
Oh man, she's hiding from me again. What the hell?
Oh man, fellas, guys in the chat. If anybody's new here, this is like an occurrence. With these two pictures, that first picture that he's gonna show and this next one that he's looking for, those two pictures always tend to hide themselves whenever he looks for them.
I was fixing to share it already, and I couldn't find her.
All right, well, Justin, seeing as how you're here, man, these two pictures, they are notorious on his channel for hiding from Abe. He'll be scrolling for like minutes and he still won't find them. So it's like a running joke, but at the same time it's not because these guys it's like they have a mind of their own and don't want to be found.
There we go.
See that picture right there? And the other one, that's like pictures you think you'll get off like of a freaking storybook. but they're not. They're actual pictures that you managed to catch. Oh yeah, tell them the story of this one también.
Yeah, Duval, you can get a hold of me through Messenger if you like. You get a story to share. Contact me through Messenger under Apesius. Well, this one here, I think the picture showed you earlier where I'm walking and I have red on me. It's from the same day, actually. There was a lot of activity behind me, and as I was walking, I heard like a low pitched sound, and it made my ears ring. The low pitched sound. So I started following the low pitched sound. Like, man, what is that noise? It sounded like a buzzing sound. I said, man, I hope it's not no wasps. So I kept on going, cutting through the woods, following the noise, and it was getting louder and louder. And it's like, man, sounds like somebody's humming or singing, but it was real low pitch. So I start walking towards a creek. And as I walked towards the creek, I heard it a little bit louder. So I followed where the sound was coming from and I took a picture. And no, visually I couldn't see nothing, but I just followed where the sound was coming from. So when I was debunking the photo, I found her by the bed of the creek, right by the edge of the bed of the creek. You see how tall she is or short she is. Look at the grain of grass.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it is.
The grain of
Not the-
grass. Look at the little twigs.
You know what always amazes me is that I sometimes I read some stories and I watch some of these old movies like Tinkerbell and all this, and it amazes me that there are beings that small and tiny that can cause a lot of damage, especially with what the little mouse knight did to your ankle, or fly and all that, with the whole humming. It amazes me that they actually exist. They're not fictional; they're real.
Justin says she is inches tall. Yeah, probably like an inch, maybe. I would say like an inch, maybe, inch and a half. Short. Because even the grain of leaf or the leaf or the grain of grass is taller. How tall do you think she is, Andres?
Like I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe like below a little inch, below an
Yeah, it's
inch, but not by
below an
much.
inch.
Was that Rebel?
No. Guess the fairy doesn't like us talking about her. The thing fell off the wall just because we're sharing this picture of the fairy.
Yeah, well, fair if you're listening. We're sorry if we have to show you a picture, but some people need proof of your existence. And well, there you are, and you're actually flying in this picture too. You're not on the ground or anything like that, like the night was. You're flying.
I do got one of the fairy flying at nighttime.
Yeah, and Justin just commented by the water too, especially going with like how they some fairies, some spirits prefer being by the water.
Yeah, water sprites or something like that.
Yeah,
You got tree sprites, water sprites. They're like for the elements.
mm-hmm.
All right. There you go, folks. 3 hours and 50 minutes. I hope you like the show. I do got a picture of a leprechaun also.
Oh yeah,
With a chilele. You want to see that one? If you want to see that, give me a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, you got a
I
freaking
capture these
leprechaun también.
pictures. I follow my senses, and I just go with the flow of things spiritually, and you just happen to catch them.
Not to mention, yeah, the leprechaun who has like the freaking gold striped hat or whatever.
So you even got the hat on.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, that's a crazy one there too. The little leprechaun. Let's see, I can. Oh,
All right, Justin, take care, man. Be well too.
here you go. Let me show the little leprechaun. Do you think they're just manifestations, man, of something that was here before, or
I
you
wouldn't
think
be surprised if they are. Like,
they exist spiritually?
oh yeah, there he is, and he's running.
There he is, right there, the little leprechaun.
That, yeah. I honestly thought he might be shorter.
Well, that's a close up of it.
Oh yeah, forgot that's a close up.
I think I have another video of it where you can see more different more space, but this is a close up of it.
I forgot most of these are close up. But yeah,
So I'm
like
gonna.
if you're looking at,
Oh shoot! Here we go. I'll stop it in a moment so you can check them out. There's his, it's right here. Check this out. Here it is.
yeah, you can literally see the gold hat,
Yeah.
whatever, right on the top of his head.
And the green jacket looks like a green jacket.
Yeah, it's like some kind of jacket on him. You can see the legs on him too. And this ain't no freaking AI crap. This was before that.
This is real shit here, man. Real footage. Look at him. He's like laters.
Yep. He's even doing the signature hop.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah, hey, Justin Spring just commented, yeah, we find a new Justin, man. You shouldn't be hurt. We got like 2 Seans over on PTRT también. There's bound to
What's
be
up,
somebody
Justin?
else.
Yeah, I don't come in for one show and you already found a new Justin. What the hell? Oh, yeah.
Well, you ain't wrong.
Oh, man. There he is right there. I think, let me find I think I have another one with a fuller picture. Let me see if I can find that one. It's got a bigger view of what's going on here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Leprechaun likes us talking about him.
Now that's weird, man. What the
Yep.
hell happened?
We talked about the knight, the mouse knight, the fairy, and now the leprechaun. And I don't think they liked about being talked about.
What the?
Yeah,
How did
this
he
is
get stuck there?
no idea. Folks, we're having technical difficulties after showing the leprechaun. And he doesn't like it.
Okay, now let me take this
Oh.
off. See if that goes away.
Nope.
Oh man. Freaking leprechaun, man.
Mr. Leprechaun, sorry, but you don't have permission to do this.
There we go.
It blocked out the background.
What the fuck? That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
At first, I shared the fairy and the thing fell off the wall. And now I did the leprechaun and the
This
thing.
happens.
Better watch out for my legs. Make sure I don't get stabbed by the little duende.
Hey, but at least you know the fairy was good because it lured you away from the leprechaun and it helped you with
What's weird about the leprechaun, folks, is yeah, it had rain at the it had rain. I was at the park, and I noticed little feet in the ground, and I was following the little feet where something was. You could see the shoe print of little feet on the grass, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I mean, like you could see the feet of the shoe, and I was like, followed it, and then just the footprints disappeared. I followed it for a good what, maybe 3 feet, 3 feet, and then they just disappeared. I was like, somebody probably messing with me out here, you know. Then I get the video of the leprechaun. That's like, I guess it must be a leprechaun. No, I haven't seen it, Justin. I haven't seen it. I said I was going to look for the one with the full picture, right?
Yeah, you were.
Of the leprechaun?
Yep.
The full image
But
of it? Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm
Real
not sure it's
quick.
gonna let you, given the whole freaking black thing happened with the background.
Yeah, that was weird. You think it was trying to? You think it was trying to come through?
Cause some issue. I wouldn't be surprised if I tried. Heck, your background is still black.
Huh?
Your
Oh
background is
yeah,
still black.
yeah. The background is black. I didn't put the original spiritual encrypted encounters on.
Hmm.
Okay, let me see if I can find the original footage of the leprechaun. I know it's in here somewhere. Yeah, leprechaun. I'm looking for it. I know last time we found it, right?
Yeah, you did.
The original footage of the leprechaun. It was like a bigger screen. Let me see if I can find it here. Found it. This one says, "Where me pot of gold."
Mm-hmm.
You ready for it, folks? Here we go. It's a bigger view of the leprechaun. See, I'm going to put the graphic of spiritual encrypted encounters in the background, so Andres won't freak out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Original footage. Right off my, well, I did the recording.
Oh yeah, he just ran right there.
Yeah, check it out.
Shh. That other guy was quick though.
Yeah. And this will lower the speed. You see him?
Yeah, I see.
Man, seems like something else is there, man. Besides the leprechaun, he's got energy. You seen that energy that he's got?
Yeah, if he's got energy to manifest like that.
Energy or portal? He might be going through.
In my opinion, it might be a portal.
Yeah. See what the people are saying. It's the original photo of the leprechaun. Which one looks better, the close up or?
I think they
This,
both look good, but the only reason I say the close up is because like you focus more on
you,
him.
you can see the face and everything. But that looks freaked out right there. Whatever that is, it looks like a white face. But it looks like energy that the leprechaun has. There you go. All right. Well, there you go, folks. We did a good hour, 3 hours and 30 minutes. I hope everybody enjoyed the show here tonight. Andres, whatever you want to say to the viewers, tell them about open mic nights. Well, we do open mic nights on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What is it for?
Tuesdays and Thursdays are open mic nights, and like I said earlier, you can come on and talk about your encounters or anything that you really want to talk about.
They said they see 3 bodies moving to the left. JCH. Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays open mic now where subscribers are allowed to come on here, click on the link, and share an experience or talk about whatever, whether it be spiritual, paranormal, cryptid, or whatever you want to talk about.
Or if you just want to ask questions about any of the pictures or videos that Abe shows on his channel, he'll
Or
give
if
you
you're
like the
going through
back.
something, you want to share what you're going through, you're more than welcome here on Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's open mic night. Maybe we need to change the name to open discussion, or what's a good other name for somebody to speak? Show and tell.
I would just say the teleport, not the show, because when you say show, people are gonna expect like pictures or something.
Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters open chat, or I don't know. I just leave it at open mic night.
Yeah, open mic is better. But yeah, I'm gonna say my goodbyes, Abe, because
Right.
it looks like you're
Thank you, brother.
all right.
You have a good
Well,
night.
all right. Thank you. Good night. Thank you for like your knowledge and your service in the military and all that. Folks, everybody in the chat, we don't know what the world is truly about, and whatever we do know about the world, it's probably not the same way we think it really is. Always keep an open mind. Never close off your mind to anything, because nothing is really set in stone. Anything can change like at snap of your fingers. All right. Well, that's all I gotta say. All right. I'll be in the chat until you log off, Abe.
All right. Good night, Andres.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you. Well, there you go, folks. Another open mic night here at Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. I hope you enjoyed the show with the pictures and the videos, short reels. I'll try to go back to some of those old videos that I got and try to debunk them even more. Uh, just want to say, no matter what you're feeling around you, because in that area was hot spot, man. That's where I had the encounter with the six. A lot of activity behind me on the first video that I showed, which I'm going to lower down the speed on it to see if I can capture something in there, because I've seen a lot of movement, see what I can capture. But yes, no fear is my suggestion to you all. Before you go to do an investigation, stay prayed up. If activity picks up, go into prayer, and then pray afterwards. Pray that make sure nothing is attached to you. If there's something attached to you, to leave, take authority over it in Jesus Christ's name. But yeah, no fear, brothers and sisters, and always maintain your heavenly love foundation. For those that like to go explore or investigate certain areas, you got to protect your vessel. You should know if you feel different when going to an area. So you got to take authority. If something strange is happening to you, you're not feeling like yourself, take authority over it in Jesus Christ's name and tell it to leave, because if not, it's going to linger on you, and it can zap you. And if it lingers on you, you don't take the authority for it not to follow you home, then it's going to follow you into your house. It's going to have free entry. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people that are out there looking for Bigfoots, dogmen. They don't protect themselves. They don't take authority over the things that are attached on them. So when they enter the homes, they're bringing that unclean spirits into their house. It's having free entry into the home, which is start affecting a lot of the family members. That person becomes ill, becomes sick, because he has a negative attachment on them. They went up in the hospital because they don't know how to fight it spiritually. So be careful when you're out there. How you doing, Brother Shea Viking? In saying that, good night, everybody. Have a blessed morning. This is Brother Apsias. Soren Cias signing off from Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Good night, everybody, and God bless you all and your families.